Celtic fans, have a wee look at the BBC Sports Scot website. Brian's got a story on there about some new signings. We'll discuss that with the guys at half-time in this game, but time now to sit back and enjoy the action. It's Kairat Almaty against Celtic for a place in the Champions League with John Collins, Aidan McGeady and Alistair Lamont.
Thanks, Kenny. Yeah, the enormity of this game cannot be overstated. A Celtic victory sets him up beautifully for another positive season. Lose and a simmering disquiet could boil over with prestige and bundles of cash at stake. The tie could not be more finely balanced after last week's Celtic Park stalemate, and so Brendan Rodgers' side have to produce a win tonight, something Celtic have been unable to do on their 3 previous visits to Kazakhstan, though they have prevailed in each of the 3 ties. The home side, Kairat, going into a Celtic-style huddle in front of a packed stadium, as Brian describes, largely open to the elements. It's around about 22 degrees still, 9:45 at night local time. But Celtic more than used to playing in such conditions on their travels over the years, and they need to come up with another big result. It's a while since they have won on the road in Europe, but as we saw in the first leg, they should be more than capable of dealing with the Kazakhstan champions, as the players now just make their way into the position, just about ready to get underway. As I mentioned previously, the officials are Italians and we're off and running, as immediately Celtic try to come forward down the left-hand side. It's too high though for Yang and the home side, who are just off the top of the league just at the moment with half a dozen games remaining in their domestic season, looking to retain the title and win it for a 5th time. But as Brian said, this is the biggest game in the club's history. It's by far the furthest they've been in Champions League qualifying, and they themselves are just a win away from taking their place in the league stage. But clearly Celtic hope to be the ones who prevail in this one, as Scales picks up possession just inside his own half, left-hand side, just plays it short to Tierney. Tierney clips it down the left, rather aimless one, and that'll be an easy take for Temirlan Anarbekov, the 21-year-old who came on at Celtic Park after the first choice keeper was injured, and Celtic will look to be putting him under a bit of pressure early doors to see what exactly he's made of. As forward now for the first time come Kairat down that right-hand side, kept in on the right flank, but Tierney does well to win possession deep in his own territory, gets the ball forward. Kairat try and keep it alive, but it's nodded out of play just in front of Brendan Rodgers' technical area, and it'll be left for Tierney here to take the throw-in. Marinsky it was, just trying to keep the ball in play, managed to do so, but only for the benefit of Tierney, who now has the throw-in on the left-hand side, about 10 yards inside his own half. The first goal, as ever, absolutely vital. You feel it could settle Celtic nerves, Aidan McGeady, if they were able to get it, but on the flip side, if to concede early, then obviously the pressure just ramps up that bit more.
Yeah, of course, very, very difficult task. I mean, you can already see it's a typical Eastern European away game. The pitch is very slick, it looks quite bobbly. Positive start from, not positive, but the way they've even approached kickoff is very, very unlike Celtic, so you can kind of see the look to get the ball forward very, very quickly and look slightly more direct than normal.
Here's Scales picking up from Schmeichel into Callum McGregor, just plays it to his right to Carter Vickers, who sat out Saturday's win over Livingston. It was a bit of huffing and puffing in the first half for Celtic, but the second half, their quality and pressure paid, and produced the 3 goals. As Kairat now have a throw-in. It's going all the way back to the goalkeeper, put under pressure there by Maida, just gets it clear onto the head of Cameron Carter Vickers. Out to the left-hand side, Kairat will try and build here. It's a advancing up to the edge of the penalty area. Just a slight miscontrol there at the edge of the box there by Gromyko, but he'll go and try and keep it out of play in the end under pressure from Kieran Tierney. John, you'll have played in games like this, I guess, over the years. How tough a task is it to go away from home and secure a victory?
It's always difficult away from home, but I think Celtic will be disappointed in the first few minutes here. It's been really scrappy. They've struggled to get possession, which they always like. Brendan likes his team to get control of the ball. The opposition, just like last week, they're man-marking Carl McGregor, and he is the playmaker in Celtic's team, so Callum's got to make sure he keeps moving. They've got to try and find him, because he's the one, the link from the back four into the front players. He gets the team playing. I don't like seeing him throw-ins up the line. Again, Maeda's not so good with his back to go. He doesn't take it in well. I'd like to keep away from the ball away from him until they're going to play it through from him.
Right, okay. No, I'd agree with that. I do think Maeda though has to show there, because no one else is across there. If you're looking at it, I think Yang's ran away. He's made the inside run, so he does have to show. But it's slightly concerning. I agree with you, John. It's Kairat they're the ones who are kind of looking more on the attack.
Here they are on the attack on the angle of the box. It's clipped in towards the back post. There's Tierney got that header clear from inside his own penalty area. 0-0 after 4.5 minutes in Almaty, which is way across in the east of the country, almost at the Chinese border. Almost feels faintly ludicrous that a European Champions League game has been played quite so far away from mainland Europe, but there we are. Here come Kairat Almaty looking to get the opening goal here at the edge of the box. Rather tame shot, but it bobbled, perhaps to get deflection, and forced Schmeichel to dive to his left, but he saw it wide of target. And after 5 minutes here, it's Kairat 0, Celtic 0.
See, John, just what you were saying there, that's a slight danger though without the ball, where McGregor is too advanced and he's not sitting in front of the back four. Carter Vickers and Scales look very, very deep there.
Kairat looking to make the most of home advantage. They've won all 3 of their home legs in the qualifiers so far, coming through from the first round of qualifying, and not only have they won each of these games, they've won them without conceding a goal, so their home record is good in Europe, albeit they probably haven't come up against a team of Celtic's quality as yet. As Celtic look to try and build, but it's a slack pass there, and Kairat pick up possession. Scales has to put his head in the way of a ball forward, and Tierney will try and keep it and gets it forward down the left-hand side. Maeda, loose touch from him, and bounces off him and out for a throw-in on this near side. Again, Celtic not really taking care of possession as they would normally be expected to do. Tapalov goes back the way to his captain Martinovic, and then back to the goalkeeper Arabekov. He goes long, but too long for any of his teammates, and Schmeichel just come to the edge of his area and clutch that one before he bowls it out underarm to Carter Vickers. 6.5 minutes played, 0-0 on the night, and in the tie. Remember, Rangers also in Champions League qualifying action tomorrow night. We'll have live coverage of that here on Sportsound, as well as they make an even more daunting trip to Bruges in their case, with a 3-1 deficit from the first leg. As Yang goes to ground, looks for a free kick. He doesn't get it, but a free kick has gone the way of Kairat Almaty for the challenge by Hatate on Ofri Arad in the middle of the park, and Celtic with a set piece to defend here.
Too often it's gone up to the front players and it's bouncing off them. They've got to retain possession, let their midfielders get up close to them to support. Yang, last couple of touches, giving the ball away, he's got to take care of it.
Hatate just stepping on the Achilles inadvertently there of Arad. Accidental, but no less painful for that, I imagine. And Celtic will have to get organised for this free kick, which pretty much midway inside their own half, as Arad gets a little bit of treatment for that particular injury. Hatate quick to apologise, and just a word in his ear, I think, there from the official, nothing more, as Arad makes his way off, having received treatment, but Almaty then with the free kicks, about 15 yards actually inside Celtic's half, but certainly an opportunity to try and put this up towards the edge of the penalty area. Martinovic, the 37-year-old captain, up from the back to try and help his team here. So a free kick right of centre, taking left-footed in towards the edge of the box. Out comes Schmeichel, sees it all the way and takes a confident catch there before any Almaty players can get anywhere close to him, and now Celtic will try and build. A little slip there as they try to come forward, and pitch, as Aidan said, looks very well watered, very slick, as Nugren just about kept his footing there. Just about 9 minutes played here as Ralston prepares to take the throw in. Nothing really for Celtic in an offensive sense thus far, but here's Forrest midway inside the Kairat half, trying to weave his way past a couple of challenges, loses out though, and then it's a wayward pass in the midfield by Kairat and out of play on the near side. The Kairat left, and it'll be the Celtic left, it'll be a throw-in to be taken by Kieran Tierney. A little bit disjointed, as the guys have been saying in these opening stages. Maida again looking to get on the end of this throw. It's a long throw-in, but it's over his head. Tierney can't.
I think Celtic have lost possession of every throw-in they've had since the game started.
You're on these throw-ins tonight, aren't you, John?
I am. That's my pet hate in football, giving the ball away from a throw-in. Needless. It's the easiest thing in football to retain possession from a throw-in, and we are giving it back to them.
I just think it's they're actually pressing very, very well in that low block. I think Celtic are really struggling to kind of get any sustained possession actually in their half. Was that the ball that broke to Forrest there? But again, you could see the ball bobbled up. It's very, very fast, the pitch. It's I don't want to say it, but it's the first 10 minutes of the game, you don't want to read too much into it, but I'm not liking the start so far.
Kairat certainly seeing more of the ball in the attacking areas without threatening Kasper Schmeichel as yet. As at the other end, it's Anar Bekov put under a bit of pressure there by Yang. He just slices the ball out of play. Celtic will have the throw in midway inside the Kairat half, taken into Yang on the left-hand side. Challenge comes in, knocked out of play once more for another Celtic throw-in. First time in 4 years Celtic have had to qualify for the Champions League, having just gone in automatically previous 3 seasons, but Scotland's coefficient has slipped, therefore acquiring this qualifier. Good play from Nugren down the left-hand side, tries to stand up towards the back post again. There's a slip this time from Forrest, and
terrific play from Nugren. Nice skill, eliminates his player, gets in a good position, slightly overhits the cross.
You liked what you've seen from him so far in his
I like him a lot. I think ticks lots of boxes, technically very good, good mobility, good left foot. I like his attitude when he scores goals. He celebrates them with the fans. He's got a bit of passion and spirit about him.
And also an example of not having to go out and break the bank for a good player if you're scouting and your know-how, of your knowledge of a player who's coming out of contract in a year's time. They can pick him up for a relative snip.
Well, that's what they've done throughout the years, finding snips like that. And they're harder to find every year, but he looks like a snip.
Yeah, he does, yeah. I know the club were, I think there was a bit of interest in him going back probably as far back as January last year, but I'm obviously very happy that the club managed to get that one over the line, because I think there was a lot of interest in him from other teams. I think Serie A, but I've really liked what I've seen so far of him.
Yeah, a couple of goals at the weekend as well against Livingston. As Scales plays it square to Carter Vickers inside his own half, and it's Nugren who comes and takes it short and plays it out to Forrest, right hand side, just inside the Kairat half. Better possession now from Celtic as they look to build their way into the game. 12 minutes played, no goals in the tie as yet, as Tierney is challenged. Was he fouled? No, I think it was just a fair challenge, knocks the ball out of play, and it will just be a throw in here. I think it was actually fouled. We can see the replay there by Rinsky, but it's just a throw in that's given. And that left flank, Maida comes across to the left where he's so accustomed to playing, albeit he's playing through the middle tonight, but loses out again from the throw in. Scales though was fouled, and it'll be a Celtic. Actually, was it Scales doing the fouling? There's a bit of shirt tugging going on in both directions there between him and Ricardinho. It's Celtic though that get the free kick, and it's quickly taken as Carter Vickers picks up midway inside his own half. 13 played, no goals between Kairat Almaty and Celtic in this massive Champions League qualifying playoff second leg. 0-0 from the first leg at Celtic Park. And 0-0 it remains tonight as Carter Vickers plays it square once more to Scales. Out to the left-hand side to Yang. Yang, who's looked lively, and I've seen him so far this season. There's a slip there again, it looked to be by Jorginho in the middle of the park, but Callum McGregor's actually been penalised for a bit of contact, which may or may not have actually come, but it is a free kick regardless of that.
At the moment we just can't get any penetration in the final third. We can't get any half chances. We're not even close, are we?
No, I don't think so. That's the first time I've actually really seen Yang on the ball. That kind of underlapping run from Kieran Tierney, making the space for Scales to play directly to Yang. Kind of a tactic very much used by the previous Celtic manager, Postecoglou. That was his favourite. But I think we'll see a lot of that going in the next until half time. I think it's much needed. 15 minutes gone.
Yeah, just about. Kairat themselves not overly dangerous either in their attacks as yet, and the stalemate continues as Celtic trying to come forward here. A ball through for Maida, it's just overhit though, and he'll not catch that, and it's all the way through to Anarbekov, who came on for his very first Champions League qualifying appearance as a late substitute in the first leg. He launches it long. Scales wins the header, perhaps with the aid of a slight push, nothing given, but Kairat continuing possession, coming forward. Good challenge though by Ralston, just stepping out and winning the 50-50, and now it's picked up by Tierney, left-hand side, out to Hattati on this left flank, still well inside his own half, back to Tierney, now back to Scales on the edge of his own penalty area, and immediately square to Carter Vickers, back with Scales. Still midway inside his own half. Carter Vickers gets it back under pressure. Now Kairat are beginning to push up and press. Scales tries to play it forward. That's cut out by Marinsky. Kairat looking to build something. Ricardinho just nudges it back. Neither side really able to keep possession for any sustained period at the moment. It's making for a very scrappy opening, isn't it?
Very scrappy.
Yeah, I think the pitch is slippy. It looks a little bit bobbly as well.
Slippy, bobbly, I think. It's very, very slick as well. It's we've played plenty of pitches like that in European ties, but I think the Celtic team have to get to grips with this very, very quickly.
Here's Ralston about 10 yards inside his own half, just plays it short, gets the ball back from McGregor. Now it's with Carter Vickers. Square again for Scales. Tierney's out hugging the touchline on the halfway line on the left-hand side. Forward for Yang. It's a loose touch again from Yang. Just about keeps possession, but eventually loses out, and Kairat will come forward. Again, the link-up play is not good enough between Ricardinho and Jorginho, but it's out of play for a Kairat throw-in. 16 minutes gone, no goals. Jorginho was certainly one of the livelier Kairat players, but the fact that they're missing Ed Milson as well as the wonder kid that is Satpayev is certainly to Celtic's advantage, you would have thought. Ed Milson, we certainly thought in commentary, and he was given Carter Vickers and Scales a bit of a hard time, particularly aerially, wasn't he?
It was. I think he was the one that nodded the ball down for the first goal. It was chopped off. But yeah, listen, he led the line very well. I think he done a lot of hard running, especially for the defensive work for his team. But he was a threat, so big miss. And obviously, I think it's Satpayev as well. He was impressive in fits and bursts the other night, but bit of it's a good one for Celtic that he's not playing. It's a bit of a let-off, I think.
Ralston's lost out, and this could be promising for Kairat, although they've a shortage of players coming up in support. Eventually the cavalry arrives, and out to the right-hand side it will come. It's a decent ball. Tapalov tries to get it beyond Kieran Tierney. It's cut out, come back to Tapalov almost at the byline. This time he tries the cutback, that's cut out by McGregor. Slid back into the area. McGregor gets his chest hit just at the edge of the box. And Celtic get it clear, but Maida can't hold it up. Kairat will come again. Carter Vickers with an unconvincing header. An overhead kick from Scales helps it on. This time Yang's touch is better, and he nudges it back to Hattati, who stays as composed as ever and plays it infield to Nugren, and then it's back with Scales at the edge of the box for Carter Vickers. But a little bit of uncertainty just a moment ago inside the Celtic defence, but they've dealt with it eventually, and and 18 minutes in, it's still goalless as Celtic look to build from the back once more. Tierney forward for Yang, back with Tierney once more. And he plays it infield to Maida. Lovely little turn from Maida that time. Steps away from a couple of challenges. Now brings it forward down the left channel. Needs a bit of help and it arrives through Yang. Good challenge made though by Sorokin. And out for a throw-in on his near side. But that was a good touch from Maida. Took him away from a couple of challenges. Ultimately didn't come to anything, but better stuff from Maida.
I think he was just almost getting pulled back there when, I think who was making him through the middle, was that Forrest? He was almost, I think he was just off balance slightly because I think Forrest was in.
Played forward down the left-hand side by the home side. Ralston battling away there. He's the one who's been penalised. Looked to be 6 of one and half a dozen of the other there against Gromyko. Brendan Rodgers looks slightly bemused as to why that went against his side. Free kick then about 10 yards inside the Celtic half. I don't see why Ralston has been penalised for that. Looking at the replay, either pretty much both of them at it. Probably comes off both their arms as well. I'm not sure why the referees decided that one should go in the home side's favour. In any case, the free kick is taken, but doesn't really come to anything as Ricardinho, unlike Edmilson, unable to hold the ball up, and Celtic come away with possession. Carter Vickers now plays it square for Scales inside his own half. Carter Vickers just pulls up his socks and then gets the ball back. Advances up towards the halfway line. Almost 20 on the clock. No real threat to either side's goal, but Yang could potentially change that here. It's an awful pass. Maybe look at the pitch and say a bobble perhaps affected his attempted pass there, but that would be being perhaps overly kind, and just got to be better than that.
He's had a poor start to the game, Yang, giving the ball away far too often. It was a terrific first pass from Scales to him. Fired out really firm, took out 3 players. That's what Scales has got to be doing quicker. Yeah. Can he feed the winger quicker, harder passes to his feet?
McGregor cuts out the ball forwards, then it's returned. Kairat will try and advance here. Carter Vickers helped it on. The offside flag though has gone up, and Celtic will have a free kick. Nothing much to shout about for either set of fans so far, you'd have to say, John. It's
I think it's just been scrappy. Both sets of players have been giving the ball away, loose touches. Final third, neither team's been able to get a hold of it and create anything in the final third. James Forrest hardly had a touch, Nygren's hardly had a touch.
There is Forrest on the right-hand side, about 15 yards inside the Kairat half. Nygren back to Ralston, and now Carter Vickers quickly closed down, but gets the pass off back the way to Kasper Schmeichel. Just at the edge of his own penalty area. Clips a nice ball out to the chest of Kieran Tierney, about 15 yards still inside his own half. Has to check back the way for Scales. Now it's McGregor coming deep to pick up possession, looking to shake off the shackles of Jorginho, who's the man who looks to be tasked with just keeping tabs on him. Now it's Scales up towards the halfway line, allowed to advance over. That halfway line just gets the break of the ball as
I'm seeing Tierney going into that pocket. I don't know why he goes in and he blocks the pass into the striker's feet. Managers like the inverted fullbacks coming in the pitch. Often for me, it blocks passes, penetrating passes for centre-halves.
Tierney looks to have just run that ball out of play in this left-hand side. It's not Kieran Tierney's natural game, is it? I mean, Greg Taylor, we've spoken about that umpteen times. He took to it really well when he was asked to do it initially by Ange Postecoglou, and pretty much continued it under Brendan Rodgers. I'm not sure that Kieran, it's never really been part of his game, has it?
No, and I think maybe that's one of the reasons why he ended up not playing week in, week out at Arsenal. They demanded that from the fullbacks.
Yeah, I think that's the way Arteta wants to play as well. He wants his fullbacks to roll into central midfield and be very, very comfortable on the ball. No one's saying Kieran Tierney isn't, but I prefer what Kieran Tierney's been doing the kind of first couple of runs where he's made there. He's actually made the space for Yang, and then he's got on his bike where, the last one where Yang's passed out to play. If it's a better pass, he's just clipped it around the corner with a bit of spin on it, then Kieran Tierney's in. That's where I want to see Kieran Tierney at his best.
Here's Hatate in an advanced area, slides it through for Maida. Left-hand side, back to Tierney, tries to pick out Nugent at the edge of the box. It's cut out and cleared, or at least half cleared. Scales tries to keep it alive, but Kairat have nicked it back midway inside their own half. It's Jorginho plays it forward now as Kairat try to mount a bit of a counter here. So good bit of play there from Gromyko to keep hold of possession and the ball play through. Ricardinho with the first big chance. Out comes Schmeichel, top save. Offside flag up against the striker. In any case, Schmeichel wasn't to know that as he came out and smothered at the feet of Ricardinho. You can see from the replay he is a good yard or so offside, but good goalkeeping from the Danish number 1.
Once again, Schmeichel, good starting position, does what he always does, spreads himself. Good save, but it was offside, a couple of yards.
Great spot by Gromyko though as well, I think. Fantastic ball, obviously was offside, but yeah, Schmeichel very, very alert to the danger.
First real threat though, you'd have to say, to either goal after 24 minutes, and Schmeichel equal to it. Here comes Yang at the other end, left hand side of the penalty area. Back to Hatate, and a good header and a good save. It's James Forrest, I think, coming in, getting on the edge, end of the cross, and the keeper had to look lively. Was straight down his throat, but nonetheless he had to react to push it over the top, and Celtic's best opportunity thus far.
First real bit of quality. Yang plays it back, first time ball by Hatate. I usually see a little James Forrest in there, head on it. Good connection, but straight at the goalkeeper.
Good save from the goalkeeper, but the first real good bit of play from Celtic with Yang getting free there down the left hand side. If it's either say the goalkeeper, you know, I think it's a goal, but straight at him.
Yeah, it's a good save, but it's one you'd expect the goalkeeper to make. Corner.
But much better from Celtic. That's what we have to do, try and get some quality in the final third. Balls in the box.
Corner comes to nothing. It was taken short, and it just comes back off Nugent there, and it's a waste. But Celtic can take heart from that opening just a moment ago as Hatate with a lovely little clip ball into the middle, and Forrest doing a decent save out the keeper, but was just above him, and one he was easily able to react to. Here come Kairat, just beginning to open up now. Chances at either end in the last couple of minutes as Mata swings it in. Ricardinho gets his head to it, then he gets to the second ball as well. Carter Vickers gets it half clear, helped on by Forrest from inside his own defensive area. Kairat will pick up once more though on the left hand side and look to create once more. 25 played, no goals as yet, as Kairat look to try and break down this Celtic defence. Infield it comes to the edge of the box for Jorginho, into Glazer, and then stepping forward here Martinovic, out to the right hand side for Tapalov. Further to the right is Marinsky, the right back, well advanced. Back infield to Martinovic, and now it's Sorokin. Into the midfield it goes, and then clipped out by Arad to the left-hand side. Decent opening this for Kairat. Can't get it ball beyond Carter Vickers from the left-hand side. Still though, the chance might be on. It's over Ricardinho, and then at the back post. Kairat can make little of it as forward came Marinsky. It might well be a corner off Tierney in the end, as Kairat begin to try and raise the tempo in the attacking third.
Really positive play from Kairat there. I just think Ralston was just kind of sucked in with the winger, and the fullbacks made the overlap and run. Good break for them, but well defended. Celtic have to be alert for this corner now.
Yeah, it's going to be a corner. It was off the head of Tierney, ultimately under pressure from Marinsky. 27 played, no goals, but Kairat Almaty here. The opportunity from the corner kick to be taken by the left-footed Gromyko. It's an in-swinger, it's a good ball, and it's cleared from inside the 6-yard box, and then the volley on the return is well wide by Dan Glazer. But that corner kick came a long way into the 6-yard box, and it needed clearing. It was Ralston who perhaps got on the end of it. Good
defending from Celtic. It's a terrific corner, whipped in 6 yards out in front of the goalkeeper. Good defensive header out. In fairness, it's good pressing from Yang at the edge of the box.
Yeah, Glazer's volley well wide in the end, but the initial corner certainly causing a bit of consternation. But here's Forrest at the other end. 28 minutes almost played in Almaty. It's Kairat 0, Celtic 0. Celtic dominating possession, and they've had probably the best opportunity of the game through James Forrest as forward comes Hatate, wins the throw-in in this left-hand side.
That seems to be the ball over the top, and for the Dillon got the run from Hatate or Yang or Tierney.
Tierney's throw-in might find Yang here, but he can't keep it in play. He just tried to lift it into the penalty area. Actually, it was Hatate who was looking to get on the end of it, but just unable to almost cut that back in time, and into the side netting it goes. Celtic just beginning to look like a side who might be able to find a way through what has clearly been a well-organised Kairat backline, not only in this tie but over the course of the Champions League qualifiers thus far, as the goal kick is taken long, won by Scales over Ricardinho. High in the air from Hatate it goes, just over the halfway line. Sorokin gets his head to it, helped on there on the right-hand side by Rinsky. And it was picked up in the midfield, but Kairat rather dwelling on the ball there. It was Arad who was almost dispossessed. Back in the left-back position, it's Mata. Gets it back to his goalkeeper just at the edge of his own area. He's quickly closed down and can only knock the ball out of play. Almost half an hour on the clock, still no goals. Still on a knife edge. The tension is clear for all to see, with so much at stake. Here's Ralston with the throw-in just inside the Kairat half, right-hand side for Celtic. Negrin comes and offers himself short, so too Forrest. Still Ralston waits for another option. Eventually just goes down the line.
I mean, there's not enough, Ralston's looking, there's not enough movement. Players are too close to him, congested. You want to get away, create space. Throw-ins.
Quarter of an hour left in this opening period. Kairat Almaty 0, Celtic 0. Kairat have seen off Olympia of Slovenia, Kups of Finland and Slovan Bratislava in the previous round, the last of those on penalties. After a 1-1 aggregate scoreline, Celtic beating Slovan Bratislava 5-1 in the Champions League last season. But they found it pretty hard going against this Kazakhstan outfit. They've got the ball in their own half of Kairat at the moment, going back the way to Anarbekov, the young keeper. Forwards onto Scales. He gets the ball to his left to Tierney. It'll be picked up in the midfield there almost by Marinsky. He's lost out to Tierney. Does really well, Tierney, but the referee's penalised him for a free kick inside that centre circle.
It didn't look like a free kick to me. It looked like you won the ball.
Just pulling back there, just pulling his shirt.
Yeah. A little tug. You're right.
It's a decent spot from the ref because, to be fair, from our vantage point, it didn't look like there was much in it, but the referee with a much better view, close proximity, and Kairat get the free kick just at the edge of the centre circle inside the Celtic half. Still we await the first goal in the tie as Marinsky and Gromyko stand over this free kick. Very central area. It's the left foot of Gromyko to tease it into towards the back post. It's won by a Kairat head, but cleared away there by Tierney up towards the halfway line. Kairat will go all the way back to the keeper, who's just about 10 yards outside his penalty area. Left-footed Anarbekov fires a good-looking ball out to that left-hand side. It's a good pick out from the young keeper, and Kairat will look to try and create. They've only got one player in the box at the moment. It's Ricardinho. Still the ball out on the left. Does come in to the middle. Carter Vickers, though, wins it ahead of the Brazilian Ricardinho. Celtic pick up possession just at the edge of their own penalty area. Other than that slide rule ball that was played through for Ricardinho earlier on, who was offside anyway, Schmeichels had nothing to do, which is encouraging for Celtic, albeit they've only really created the one chance at the other end.
I think when you look at the opposition, they're well organised when they don't have the ball. With the ball, there's not a great deal of creativity in their general play. The keeper gets it, he plays it long. They look to play off the second ball, so they're playing in front of Celtic most of the time. They don't have any real out-and-out pace at the top of the pitch that will frighten Celtic. I think if Celtic just need to up the pace, 10% better quality in the final third. First goal was vital, isn't it?
Yeah, I just think they have to be careful of that straight ball from the goalkeeper which just happened there. That seemed a little bit too easy for me, because let's be honest, Schmeichel hasn't been able to do that this game, has he? So that's, the defence obviously have to be very wary of that. But you're right what you say, John, there's not a lot of quality from the opposition, but again, very well organised defensively. I just think Celtic have to play with a bit more pace.
I just think this is where I think Celtic they've got to move it about the back. I don't mind them moving, keep possession, but I want to see it done at a higher tempo, firmer passes left to right.
Here's McGregor in the centre circle, straight forward for Maida. He gets it back to Scales, and now out to the left hand side for Tierney with a little bit of space to move into. It's a lovely little turn away from Yang. Yang links with Tierney down that left hand side. He'll catch this and cut it back into the area. Kairat body to it first, but Celtic try to keep it alive. Forrest again wins the header in the box, tries to nod it down to a teammate. Comes out, but McGregor wins it, and then Forrest picks up after Ralston was caught, and he'll come back surely for the free kick to Celtic right at the edge of the box on the right hand side. Ralston was caught very late, and although the referee tried to play the advantage, none was forthcoming.
It was really brave from Ralston. He knows he's getting it, but at the same time he knows he's clipping or running into the player. But he's okay. He's looking at it in slow motion. I don't think it's too bad.
Just a contact on the knee, really. Stayed down, Anthony Ralston, but hopefully no real ill effects from that. But it is a good position for a free kick this for Celtic, more or less on the angle of the box on the right hand side, just a couple of yards out from that. And with 10 minutes to go to the interval, Aidan, this a really presentable chance, this.
It is. I think it's been a very cagey affair so far. I think the good play from Yang a couple of minutes ago, with the ball in the box, and I have spoke about it so far this first half. I think we will see chances down this left hand side behind the right fullback for Kairat, and so far that's kind of been the only openings that Celtic have really had, has been down this left hand side. But big opportunity now to put the ball in the box and actually try and get a goal.
Yep, Benji Nugren standing over it, left footed, curls it into the near post. It wasn't a great delivery. Maida unable to do anything with it, comes out of the box, and Ralston picks up and plays it short, and then gets it back once more from Hatate. Then Ralston will try and fire it in from distance to the box, but that's easily repelled, but given away by Kairat. Carter Vickers gets it to Ralston once more, and then to Scales. Here's Tierney left hand side, midway inside the Kairat half, looking for options ahead of him. Yang plays it short infield, but given away, and Kairat will try and come forward once more, but Scales steps in and wins it well, finds Nugren, but he's lost out, and now Kairat might be able to counter here on the left hand side. Forrest backtracking here to try and prevent that. It's into Jorginho, who goes down under the challenge of Nugren, who proclaims his innocence, but the referee's not interested. He's already awarded the free kick to Kairat. Just looking to buy that, wasn't he, the Portuguese, as he just steps across Nugren. Might be a slight clip in the ankles eventually, but anyway, the free kick does go the way of Kairat. They've created precious little as the home side, but with just over 8 minutes left in this opening 45, Celtic have to be wary here from the set piece. You do get the feeling, as cagey as these two games so far have been, that one goal could ultimately decide it either way. As Gromyko plays a poor free kick to the edge of the box. It might get work out though for Kairat as it's recycled out to the right hand side, but Arad, looked offside to me, has actually managed to win a throw-in the end, which is probably more than he had any right to expect. It was a poor ball and he looked offside, but Kairat will have the throw-in down near the corner flag as the attack on the right flank. It'll be Tapalov to come across and take this one, about 5 yards or thereabouts, maybe just a little bit more than that from the corner flag on the right. It's taken short, looked like a foul throw-in, but knocked out of play once more by Maida. Tapalov again with the throw. That's another foul throw-in. It's maybe nitpicking, but nonetheless could lead to something pretty dangerous here. Is that going to be a corner? No, the goal kick is given this time by the assistant referee as tried to, I think, play it off Tierney, but ultimately just trickles behind. Actually did come off Celtic player. It came off the studs of Hatate almost, but the officials didn't see it. That makes up for them not awarding the foul throws. back underway. We've got, what, 7 minutes left in this first period. Shots on target at a premium. Celtic were the only one so far through James Forrest's header. As Carter Vickers and then Ralston get it back to Schmeichel. Schmeichel out to the right-hand side. Carter Vickers will be put under pressure here. Is he fouled? Yep. And a free kick goes Kairat's way. It hasn't been one for the purists, you'd have to say, this first half, John Collins.
There's been a distinct lack of real quality. It's like you're not watching the normal Celtic slick passing, combinations, full-backs, overlapping wingers, getting to the byline, cutbacks. There's been nothing down the right-hand side between Ralston and James Forrest. Actually, no play hardly. A little bit on the left-hand side, but just lacking that bit, that spark, sharpness, decision-making, touch. All right, the pitch isn't great, but I wouldn't make that as an excuse. Just in fairness, the opposition are making it difficult when they're coming to the final third. They're organised. There's lots of contact. They're not letting the wingers turn. Anytime Yang or Forrest is getting it, there's players really tight to them. But you've got to expect that.
Free kick has gone Kairat's way. Ricardinho caught in a Ralston Carter Vickers sandwich there on the halfway line. And the free kick is taken by Sorokin back in field, and then hammered forward out to the right-hand side, but far too much on the pass. And straight out of play, 5 minutes to play in this opening period. No goals between Kairat Almaty and Celtic. Tierney closed down there, and Jorginho can't bring the ball under control just as well for Celtic at the edge of the Celtic area. Kairat do pick up though. Again, it's untidy. The free kick again goes Kairat's way. The challenge coming in from Nygren once more. Just left the foot in slightly on Gromyko, and it will be a free kick to Celtic, to Kairat again in a central area, midway inside the Celtic half, and Celtic don't want to be inviting this kind of pressure on themselves.
Seems to be a big part of Kairat's game plan, is to play for fouls and kind of not waste time, but look for set pieces into the box and corners. And Celtic just have to be very, very careful. They're giving away a lot of fouls kind of inside their own half, and it's just inviting some pressure on.
Gromyko again over this free kick again. It's pretty centrally. It's not a great angle to play it into the box, but he'll try and make something of it. Sends it to the right-hand side. It's won by Martinovic back onto the penalty spot, more or less. Kairat trying to make something here, but Celtic managed to scramble it clear. No one upfield for the visitors though, and it's a comfortable back pass to the goalkeeper Anarbekov as it remains 0-0 here. Really nothing between the sides as yet, as we continue to await the first goal. Thrown over on the far side to Celtic, midway inside their own half, to be taken by Ralston. Celtic right. Into the feet of Nygren it goes. Back to Carter Vickers. Now with Schmeichel inside his own 6-yard box. To his left is Scales, and now further to the left is Kieran Tierney. He begins to come forward up towards the halfway line, tries to find Maeda, but it's a tough ball to control, and Maeda was...
It's a poor ball. So. Kieran's got to have better quality into Maeda's feet. He's got to just play that in. He's firing it, bouncing it into him.
Just what you were saying before the game, John. Maeda's he's not a natural striker, is he? He's more a natural winger, but he does give you a lot. He does give you a lot when he's playing up there. But when he does have his back to goal, he does find it more difficult. But every single time he seems to be receiving the ball this first half, he's coming very, very deep.
Ball bouncing around in the middle of the park again. As, both sides struggle to really bring a bit of quality to proceedings. With 3 minutes left in this first half. 0-0 it stands as the ball's back with Anarbekov inside his own penalty area. Launches it long but aimlessly all the way forward to Kasper Schmeichel, who immediately gets that moving once more to Scales. And now Carter Vickers gets it back from McGregor, but bounce pass and then it's square for Scales as Celtic look to try and entice Kairat forward. Into Hatate, goes back to Schmeichel at the edge of his box, out to Carter Vickers just inside his own half. Right, plays that on the diagonal, looking for Yang. It's a good first touch from Yang, it just evades him in the end. Thought he just managed to take it beyond his marker the first touch, but it's just a little bit heavy in the end, and Anarbekov able to come off his line. Just a glimmer of hope there for Celtic. It comes to nothing. 43 minutes played. Kairat Almaty 0, Celtic 0. Launched over the halfway line then by Anarbekov. Down this left-hand side it comes. Ricardinho trying to make something of it. Out of play it goes for a Celtic throw-in. Midway inside their own half. Don't think there'll be too much in the way of added on time. Not sure we need to see any more of this opening 45 in all honesty. As Nugren goes to ground. No free kick given. Looked like he was nudged there, and Kairat pick up at the edge of the box on that left flank. Looking to try and make something here as Gromyko plays it off the back of Nugren. Hattati picks up at the edge of the box and manages to play it clear. And now Maida try and bring it under control. He's done well, Maida, on the halfway line. Tries to link with Yang. Yang, the sliding challenge comes in on him. And knocked up over the halfway line. Tierney will pick up once more for Celtic. Scales for McGregor, who's really been unable to get on the ball to any great extent. Tried to dictate proceedings as he loves to be able to do. Here he is finding Hattati just inside Kairat territory into the final minute of the opening 45. 0-0 between Kairat Almaty and Celtic. Scales tries to thread it through. It's a decent ball for Hattati. Even his first touch evades him, but he manages to keep possession, and now it's back with McGregor. This will be a good time to get the opener, but the ball forward from Maida is a poor one, although the clearance isn't a great one either, as Kairat pick up and get it up to the halfway line. Carter Vickers just with a barge in the back there of Ricardinho, according to the referee. Free kick goes Kairat's way, and as half-time approaches, still 0-0.
There's nothing in it. No team's creating any chance at all. You're thinking, where's the danger? What's Brendan thinking? What's he going to change? What can he change? Will he bring on Ida? Put Maida wide?
I've got a feeling he might do that.
Yeah,
I've got a feeling he might do that, because I think Maida's, like we said, he's not an out-and-out striker naturally, but he does give you a lot when he plays there. But so far the ball's just not been sticking. That Celtic need the ball to stick there up front to actually get up the pitch, but it's so far it's not been happening.
A minute of added on time. We're into that just now as Celtic try and build something down the left flank before the whistle goes. It's Hattati into McGregor. McGregor about 25 yards from goal, takes it on his right foot. He claims for a handball as it was blocked. Nothing given. Nugren tries to keep it alive. Celtic keeping the pressure on here. Eventually a free kick goes Kairat's way for an infringement the referee's noticed inside the area. McGregor, he caught hold of it pretty well, it seemed, on the right foot. It was blocked. Didn't initially see any sign of a handball. Not seen a replay of that one as yet, as it's Maida who's penalised for the challenge inside the area. But McGregor with a half chance on the edge of the box. Celtic have certainly been unable to create much more than that in this first period, nor have Kairat. As we go beyond that minute of added on time, it's still 0-0. And there is the half-time whistle, bringing to an end a pretty lacklustre first period from both sides. Neither side able to really create any key moments of quality. Kairat looked like they had carved the Celtic backline open after 24 minutes as the ball was played through the middle of the defence. But Schmeichel came out to smother at the feet of Ricardinho, only for the flag to go up for offside. In any case, that's really the sum total of what Kairat have created. Just a minute or so later, at the other end, Hattati clipped the ball into the area. Nice pick out for James Forrest, who made it well with the head, but it was too straight ultimately, and tipped over the crossbar by Anarbekov in Celtic's best opportunity of the area. And just on the brink of half-time there, Callum McGregor trying his luck on the right foot from the edge of the box, but charged down, and no harm done as far as Kairat are concerned. And so at half-time in Almaty, it's still in the tie. Kairat Almaty 0, Celtic 0.
Celtic in the UEFA Champions League playoff round.
Live on Sports Sound.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
You're listening to European Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. Tom English alongside us in the studio here. Tom, I have to say, that is one of the worst first halves I think I've ever seen. Dreadful.
Yeah, well, we're watching it so the listeners don't have to. So thank you. You can thank us for that. It's a pitiful game of football.
Terrible.
Given us 40 million quid at stake, at the end of this. This is dull. It's dreary. There's no fluidity in either team's passing. There's very little accuracy, very few chances. There's no pace about either of them.
It's got a feel of a pre-season friendly almost, Tom. There's no intensity at all.
There's no intensity. Nobody's getting to the byline. Nobody's asking questions. Passes misplaced all over the place. Yang, 6-7 passes gone astray. Kieran Tierney's been at it as well, surprising for him. Forrest, apart from his chance, has done nothing. Maeda has done very little. Negrin is working hard, but nothing is happening for him either. McGregor has been well marshalled. It's just a desperately dull stalemate.
Well, Brian McLaughlin, our reporter, is out in Kazakhstan. Brian, I think you can bring us some mitigation here in terms of the standard of the surface. You're telling us it's really, really poor.
I think when Tom was talking about dull and dreary, I think that's why he came to me there. Kenny. But no, I was on the pitch yesterday, and it's very dry, it's very crumbly, and even some of the players are out warming up here, the Kairat players, and they're trying to pass the ball 4 or 5 yards. There's been some very strange bounces in that first half, as you could see. It's very difficult to control the ball. It's the same for both teams, you'd have to say. The sprinklers are on the pitch now, but it's not going to make any difference. The surface is poor for what is a crucial game for both these clubs. Nothing like the bowling greens we have back home in Scotland, I have to say. But yeah, I would say that in the play, yes, it's been a dreadful 45 minutes in terms of a football spectacle. But yeah, the pitch is poor. Very, very poor indeed, Kenny.
Yeah, it certainly looks it. John, what's it going to take for this game to ignite?
Right, Brenda's in the change room now, his coaching team. He's got to be thinking, I've got to change something, because at this moment in time, the front three, they're creating nothing. For me, if I was a manager, I'd be bringing Ide on. I'm not a huge fan. I'd either take Yang or Forrest off, put Maeda wide, and what I'd be asking for my centre half. So if they can get on the ball, can they fire it to Ida? Can the midfielders get support to him? Laid back from Ida, penetrating pass through for Maeda's pace. That kind of movement up to the striker, laid back. You can't get that one, Maeda. He's not got the touch. He's not used to playing with his back to go. His strength is running in behind speed, and it's proved today. Every ball that's went up to Maeda, near enough, apart from one, has bounced off him and given away. I think Ida is better at that. I'm not saying he's great, but I think he'll give the team something. In this game, with the pitch and the circumstances, I would bring him on.
I gave it the big build-up, Aidan, this game, particularly with what's at stake, as Tom gave us the figures earlier in the programme. It's been hugely disappointing, hasn't it?
It's been a very disappointing spectacle, of course. I mean, like you said, what's riding on it, but I think it goes back to, you probably look at the first leg and go, was that a missed opportunity in terms of the performance and the scoreline? When you know you're going to have to come to Kazakhstan, playing a really bobbly pitch where it's not going to be conducive to the way you want to play football, like Celtic did the first leg in terms of their passing style. But I do agree with John. I think that it could be that redemption for Adam Maeda. I think that after getting taken off at half-time last week and publicly, from the manager, rightly so, wasn't happy with his performance, this game's probably crying out for someone to be able to hold the ball up and get the team up the pitch. It's just been very, very scrappy. The ball retention's been very poor. I would like to see the ball in the final third more, possibly be even. No one wants to see Celtic being direct, but I think this game you can see that the pitch isn't conducive to the way Celtic want to play normally.
Another little thing, they're really focused on man marking Callum McGregor. There's one in front and one behind. I'd like to see a little bit of rotation. Callum taking those two players, going for a little run onto the right area. Negrin coming in and taking his position. Try and give them something to think about and create some space in the middle.
I think even there was one in the first half there where Callum took the ball and he wasn't getting marked, but the players came late to him, and then he passed it to Scales and Scales stepped in. I think that's kind of where maybe Callum has to understand, and listen, he's a very, very experienced player, but almost using himself and giving himself up to create space for Scales or Carter Vickers to step in, because I think that's what's needed, because it seems to me like very, very similar to the second half of last week. Carter Vickers and I think Scales are playing very deep.
He's got to shake it up. I mean, you look at Negrin. What about moving Negrin up into where Forrest is? Engels into where Negrin is. Engels off the bench into Negrin, right side of midfield. Ida on a centre forward, and move Maeda to where Yang is. Take Yang off. It's just gotta shake it up a little bit, because this is so flat.
I think he will change it up. I'll be very surprised if he's not made a change at half time. In fairness, nowadays very few managers do. They give it another 15 minutes. But after having watched that, haven't really created anything. It is bouncing off Maeda. I think they need a focal point, even for putting balls in the box from the fullbacks further out. Ida's in the box, you've more chance of winning headers, little knockdowns. It's scrappy, the pitch isn't great, but it doesn't look as bad as Brian says here of us on the
and it shouldn't be an excuse, because the truth of it is, Aidan, they were pretty poor last week in the first leg as well. Celtic, there was again a real lack of energy, and I think if one typified that, it was Maeda on the night.
It just looks like a real lack of intensity. I don't understand why, because you know what's at stake. It's a place in the Champions League and playing against top quality opposition, and I don't know, it just seems a little bit lethargic and haphazard at times. But look, I think we did say this last week as well. I don't think there's going to be a better performance than last week. We've potentially seen a slightly worse performance than last week.
Yeah, I think I'd agree.
Which I thought would have been hard to do, but look, I think there's a very, very good chance we won't see that again in the second half. I think we'll see a change in terms of maybe personnel, and I think we're going to have to see a change in tempo.
They have players on the bench, a couple, not many, but a couple that can potentially make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And Arnie Engels,
you like him?
I like his potential. I think, and I've seen him play terrific games for Celtic. So he played some terrific games in Champions League for Celtic last season. Clearly, there's a reason why he's not in the team. Obviously, Brendan has seen something in Nygren, and Nygren looks a good player. But I think you can accommodate both of them potentially in the team. It's screaming out for a change, and you can wait, fine, yeah, and he may well wait, but maybe he's delaying the inevitable, because that front three is offering very, very little. And you look at that front three, like this is a £40 million game, right? This is a game to get Celtic into the Champions League. And yes, Jota is injured, but to go into that with Forrest, Maeda and Yang, Forrest and Yang wouldn't be in the team normally. They'd be on the bench. And Maeda would not be playing through the middle. He'd be playing off the left, which is his strongest position. So that's your front three. For a game of this magnitude, it's madness.
I suppose, John, on the plus side, Kairat have been really poor. I felt they actually looked more threatening last week at Celtic Park. We've just seen a couple of half chances here, one just dragged wide. There was the one that was offside as well, where the keeper Schmeichel came out and saved it, but they've not looked up to much either, have they? There's not a lot of threat there.
From a creative point of view, they don't have any real dangerous players in the final third. They don't have any players that looks like they've got a jink and a striker in and around the box. They don't look like they've got any real blistering pace to worry. However, they're organised, they're disciplined, they're hard working, they're sticking to their game plan. So they've limited Celtic to next to no chances in the first game and up in that 45 minutes. So we'll give them credit for defensively, but part of that is Celtic's poor quality. First touch, link-up play. Normally we were watching Celtic last few seasons, full-backs and wide players are linking up, overlaps, getting to the byline. It's not happening. It never happened last week either. I don't know if the confidence is drained from Yang and James Forrest, but James he never got turned, faced up a full-back in that 45 minutes. And in the first game at Celtic Park, not once did he go past the full-back. Every single time he came in the park and passed it. So that's, okay, maybe his confidence is a little bit low, or maybe the manager's told him just keep circulating the ball.
Why do you think that would be, though? His confidence would be low? Because if anything, he's been relied upon now to you're starting a massive game.
I don't know. The first thing I tell my full-backs in a big game at home is, first pass, feed the winger. And I tell the winger, 60,000 here, go and take on the full-back opposition early. Put them under pressure. Go and try and take them on. Worst case scenario, you lose the ball. Best case scenario, you get to the byline, put a cross in, the fans up, centre forward's got a chance, or else you get them booked early. Last week, Maeda passed it back constantly to Tierney. The wide players never attacked the full-backs and got to the byline. I couldn't understand it. I'm watching, I'm thinking, why are you not going at the full-backs?
The only thing, sorry, Tom. The only thing I would say is, so far in this game, that the ball hasn't been in the final third for the wingers to take the defenders on 1v1 at all.
You look at Kairat. We're analysing Celtic and the paucity of their performance. Kairat in a game and a half have had 0 shots on target. 0. This is a poor team. Yes, defensively solid, well organised, disciplined, all the rest of it. Offensively, and I hope I'm not making myself a hostage to fortune here, they've offered very, very little, if anything. One Celtic goal could win this. I still fancy them to win it.
Yeah.
But I wish they'd kind of elevate the performance a little bit.
Well,
quickly.
One thing that should give Celtic fans and certainly the Celtic manager a boost is new signings, and he's been banging on about that for a number of weeks now. Brian McLaughlin, a reporter, is out at the ground in Kazakhstan. Brian, you've got a piece on the BBC Sports Scot website about some new arrivals at Celtic Park.
Yeah, win or lose tonight, there's going to be a couple of new arrivals coming into Celtic Park in the next couple of days. The club's agreed a deal with Royal Antwerp from Belgium for striker Michelangelo Balakishwa. He's 24 years old. He's a striker. He's signed on a permanent contract. The fee, around about £4.5 to £5 million, we've been told. That should be concluded within the next couple of days. And they're also agreed a deal with Boca Juniors for their left back, Marcelo Taraki. Now, the 27-year-old from Uruguay, he spent time in Germany, Turkey and Spain before moving to Boca Juniors in Argentina a couple of years ago. He is due to come in on loan. I believe it's a season-long loan, but at least 2 players coming in. And just before I head back to the studio, Kenny, a couple of players, Adam Ida and Arne Engels, they've had a fairly rigorous warm-up during the half-time period here. So maybe not immediately for the start of the second half, but it would be no surprise to see these 2 players introduced in the not-too-distant future here in Almaty.
Yeah, we can just see the players coming back out. Just, John, briefly, in terms of Balak-Wisha, you done a wee bit of homework on him?
Yeah, well, I've got a friend out and works for the Belgian FA, works for all the youth teams, so he tells me he's a good football player, good attitude, good striker of the ball, and he thinks it'll be a good purchase. So a positive report.
Right, we'll discuss the new signings later on in the programme. We could be in for a long night here. Of course, this could go to extra time and to penalties. The players just coming back out onto the park. Brian telling us the surface is really poor out there. The game has surely got to improve. There is so much on the line this evening, looking for a place, of course, in the Champions League and the tens of millions that go with that. Let's get back to our commentary team of John Collins, Aidan McGeady and Alistair Lamont.
Well, the good news is, of course, there's also the prospect of extra time here if neither side can find a goal in the next 45. So we've got that to look forward to as well, and even penalties. So who knows what is in store out in Almaty as the home players make their way down the tunnel now and back onto the pitch. Celtic are already there. Kairat Almaty beat Aberdeen in a Europa League qualifier in that particular stadium back in 2015-2016. But the riches available to them if they were to win this one would be far greater. Game changer for Kairat Almaty, you would have to imagine. Celtic, as I mentioned earlier, it's a long time since they've won away from home in Europe. 0 wins in 12, going back to Ferencváros in the Europa League in 21-22. Losing 8 of those and drawing 4. So they need to change that in the next 45 minutes, or else they'll be looking at the Europa League beyond tonight as well. Doesn't look like there are any changes just at the moment, as the players await the referee's whistle to start the second half. The Italian just checking with his colleagues that everyone's ready to go. Mauricio Mariani, there's his whistle, and on we go once more. Let's hope there's a bit better football in this second period, but ultimately it's all about Celtic finding a goal or two to ensure that it's them that progress back into the Champions League stage, having performed pretty admirably in it for the most part last season. Here's Ralph Stint coming forward, a good little dummy away from his marker, then the ball into the box doesn't quite meet the same standards, and Kairat get it clear. And they'll come forward now, crossing the halfway line. It's Jorginho out to the right-hand side as Kairat look to mount the first attack of the second half, poked away by Celtic defence. Kairat will pick up once more down on that right flank. Ball comes into the area. That's a pretty damning statistic from Tom about no goals, no shots on target from Kairat Almaty over the course of a game and a half. But Celtic only managed that one effort on target in the first period. James Forrest's header saved by Temilan Arabelikov. Throw into the home side, over on the far side, their right flank. Brendan Rodgers still pretty impassive on the touchline. But certainly you would imagine there'll be changes forthcoming if nothing improves in the next 10 minutes or thereabouts. Tierney has it, midway inside his own half, plays it forward down the left flank, knocked forward again by Martinovic, who you would imagine will be playing for Belarus when they come up against Scotland and Hungary in the next couple of weeks. The 37-year-old veteran, still a regular with the national side. Here's Carter Vickers, midway inside his own half, plays it forward to Nygren and then back to Callum McGregor. McGregor out to the left-hand side for Tierney. Tierney for Yang, and then a little flick comes from Maida back to Yang. He's well challenged though. Looked like a decent little bit of link up there between Yang and Maida, but it eventually falters as Kairat get bodies back. Now they'll come forward down the left-hand side as Ricardinho goes for goal, takes a big deflection off Tony Ralston. I don't think it was going anywhere near the target initially, but in the end the deflection from Ralston takes it comfortably into the arms of Kasper Schmeichel. That might just go down as their first shot on target. I'm not quite sure if it was going to end up between the sticks had Schmeichel not grabbed it. 0-0 then, 48 on the clock. Celtic look to build from the back, and it's Carter Vickers just taking a little bit of a chance, gets away with it, can't find a pass for a teammate, but McGregor closes down and finds Forrest, and now it's Nygren. Good position. Oh, he needs to get the head up. Yang was in a really good area there looking for the pass, and Nygren, as much as he's been praised
Poor play
thus
from
far,
Nygren.
he needs to get the head up, doesn't he?
It's an easy pass. He's got to lift his head and play him in.
I think he sees him though. I think he sees him. I just think he takes too long on the ball and allows the challenge from the Kairat player. It's massive
Good play, terrific play from Carl McGregor in the middle of the pitch, winning the tackle. Breaks to Forrest, plays it nice and early. That was a half chance.
And that one, I would have liked Forrest to drive with the ball. You know what it's like, when you've got space in front of you, you drive with the ball, don't you, to commit a defender. But
and when he's playing with full confidence, normally James does. That's what he likes doing.
Brendan Rodgers just having a word there with Nygren as Ofri Arad received a bit of attention there. Callum McGregor just stood on his toe accidentally after making that challenge, but Nygren on that occasion not quite delivering the pass. Here's Carter Vickers being caught by a challenge 15 yards inside. In fact, both players have gone down as they come together. Carter Vickers and I think Gromyko is the Kairat player.
It's not often we see Carter Vickers going down. Hope he's okay. He's up. He's okay. He's fine.
Yeah, helped to his feet without the need for any attention. Can't say the same about Gromyko, who's still down writhing in pain, seemingly. And well, they were good at this last week, Aidan, in terms of breaking up play with all the stoppages. I'm not sure it really works in their favour now. I mean, both sides need a goal one way or the other.
Both sides need a goal, but I think if you look at the way Kairat set up last week and the way they've set up tonight, I think they're probably looking for extra time, you know, to try and get a goal on the break or the counter attack or a goal from a set piece. And I think you know, the quality they have is not at the same level as Celtic, and so I think they do realise that they're underdogs, and that might be the only way for them to kind of grind the game down and kind of try and stay in the tie.
It is, but they're not parking the bus. I mean, I think there's just lack of quality. It's not. Celtic should be beaten a team of this quality.
50 minutes in, and there's still no goals on the night, or indeed on aggregate, as Mata does well down that left-hand side, gets his head up. Now can he pick a pass as Ricardinho makes a run across the front of Liam Scales? Can't bring it under control. It's back to Kasper Schmeichel, who punches it away. Now, what is the decision here? Because I think that's an indirect free kick for deliberately handling a back pass.
What's he supposed to do?
Well, no alternative. He absolutely had to do it, didn't he? Because otherwise that was going to bounce into the net. So it's going to be, I think, a free kick to Kairat Almaty inside the Celtic penalty area, because the back pass from well outside the box goes back to the keeper, Schmeichel. It bounced really awkwardly and he had to handle it, otherwise that was going to be an own goal. And let's just take another look at the replay, guys. Maybe you can just...
Looks like he's touched it near enough on the goal line as well, so it's going to be a very, very close and free kick.
I think they have to take it in the 6-yard, yeah, bring it back to the 6-yard box.
Right, okay.
But yeah, so Callum McGregor just kind of lifts the ball back to Schmeichel. I guess, is it fair enough that it's been ruled as a deliberate pass back, do you think?
I think so. I think Callum knew what he was doing. I think taking the pitch into consideration, he probably went at Celtic Park, that's absolutely fine, but on this pitch it's taken a massive bounce, and you know, I think Schmeichel's made the right decision, because if not, you're one down.
Yeah, he's got absolutely no alternative there. So there is this indirect free kick now on the 6-yard line, just slightly left of centre, and this is a massive chance. It's very rare actually you see these ended up in the back of the net, but nonetheless it's a huge opportunity this for Kairat, who, as we've said, have created next to nothing over the two legs, but they now have a chance here. All they need is a little touch.
I don't think in all my time watching a game of football I've ever seen this.
It's incredible. Celtic have got virtually everyone, if not everyone, lined up along the goal line, desperate to keep this out the back of the net. Jorginho and Ricardinho are over the free kick. Looks like Ricardinho just going to touch it back to Jorginho. Celtic will immediately fly off the line and try and block this. 53 minutes gone here. The referee making sure everyone else, apart from those in the goal line, are back 10 yards. It's Ricardinho to touch this for Jorginho. Here he goes. Has it come off an arm there? What's the referee going to decide here? It's blocked on the line, nothing given as Celtic survive. That's a huge moment, as Jorginho's goal-bound shot was blocked by, I think, Liam Scales. Kairat claimed for the penalty. The referee unmoved initially. Now he's going to go back and check, I think, on Scales. No, it's actually it's Martinovic who has gone down off the ball. He seems to be okay. Of course, this will be checked by VAR to ensure there was no handball in there. Let's get another look at this, guys.
No,
It's difficult to see.
It's hit Maeda's right shoulder, stroke arm, it's against his body, I think.
He's turned his back as well.
Yeah, the arms are up, but they're in front of his body, and
in front of his face.
we'd like to think that is not going to be
I've seen them given, but thankfully.
Yeah, the referee has signalled for the game to resume. Well, Celtic will survive in a massive moment in this Champions League tie. It was such a bizarre incident, wasn't it? You so rarely see it. I'll tell you, one thing that always confuses me about those situations, and you don't see them very often anyway, but given it is indirect, teams always just touch it back to someone, and that allows the defending team to rush out.
Yeah.
Why don't you just have a direct shot at goal,
Ricochet,
assuming that it's going to take a touch off someone on its way in the net? I've never seen anyone do it, but I've always wondered why.
You're smarter than you look.
You got a job in coaching.
I mean, it happens so rarely, but it's just always been something that confuses me.
No, you're right. It's probably the best way to go about it. More chance of scoring.
Either way, that is a big... I mean, are Kairat Almaty going to get a better chance than that, I wonder? Celtic getting off with one big time. 55 minutes played then, still 0-0. Jorginho denied by a couple of Celtic players rushing out off the line. And Kasper Schmeichel, he'll be relieved, but ultimately, I mean, you can't blame him for doing what he did, because...
That's all he could do.
Yeah, I don't think he could even have got his head to it, could he? The way it was bouncing up from McGregor's back pass. And certainly the pitch playing a part in that. But 55 on the clock and still no goals. But Kairat Almaty passing up a big opportunity there. It's Liam Scales here into Hatate, out for Tierney, and then further out to the left-hand side to Yang, who really hasn't made the most, you would have to say, of his opportunity in the Celtic starting lineup. Celtic pick up through Hatate in the midfield, out to the left-hand side for Tierney. Back in field to Hatate it goes, and then Nygren, but he can't find a teammate, although he is caught late. That was needless, really, in the middle of the park from Dan Glazer, because I think he'd coughed up possession, had Nygren, but he wins his side a free kick for being taken out of the game late on, and Celtic will have the chance here from the set piece to push a few bodies forward. Free kick's about 15 yards inside the Kairat half, left to centre, as John Kennedy and Brendan Rodgers perhaps debate a change. But here's Maida inside the box. He miskicks his ball across the box, and then it's hacked away there by Sorokin, who didn't look at all comfortable, and that almost ended up being sliced into the back of his own net. A miscommunication there between Sorokin and Anarbekov, but the free kick has gone the way of Kairat Almaty for a little, I mean, there's a slight collision in the middle of the penalty box. It doesn't look like Yang does anything wrong there, but the referee has given it as a free kick. I mean, we've seen a rerun of that. Sorokin did not have control of that. Clearance almost ended up in the back of his own net. So chances at either end.
This is when the coaching team are thinking, they're talking, they think, who do we take off? They could take off about 5 players, couldn't they? There's quite a few players not really contributing.
I think you could say that for the majority of the team, though. I don't think anyone's been, you know, I think most players have been below par so far, but I think we probably know what changes will come in the next 10-15 minutes.
McGregor can't bring the ball under control. Carter Vickers heads high in the air just outside his own penalty area. It breaks through the way of Nygren, and then Forrest flips it back to Ralston. He's put under pressure. Carter Vickers now just plays that out of play on this near side, and 58 minutes gone, and still it's really difficult to work out who's going to come out on top in this one. As Mata takes the throw in, it's knocked out of play by Sorokin. Doesn't look entirely comfortable, the Russian international.
If I was a betting man, I think one goal will win it.
Are you a betting man?
No, not at all.
I wouldn't disagree with you, though. His chances have certainly been at a premium, and then quality even more so. That hasn't really changed since half-time.
I'd just like to see the centre-halves just bring the ball, carry the ball forward.
Here's Carter Vickers inside his own area, rolls it back to Schmeichel inside his box, plays it to his left to Scales. He's put under pressure, just pokes it to his left to Tierney, does well to get it there, and then it's into the middle of the park for Maida, who buys aside a free kick and gets them a bit further up the park, 10 yards inside their own half here, this free kick, as he's fouled by Martinovic. Carter Vickers with a poor bit of control, and that allows Gromyko to try and take him on. He's beyond him, into the penalty area, left-hand side, and Carter Vickers recovers at the expense of a corner to block the shot away. Corner kick to Kairat, but poor from Carter Vickers.
Sloppy, lack of concentration there, but good recoveries, power and strength, gets him back in the right safe side, goal side, gets a block in. Important block.
Still able to recover, but that's the second time in 2 games that's happened to Kairat.
Yeah.
He's kind of been sloppy in possession.
Yeah, at Celtic Park it was almost the effort from nearly the halfway line, wasn't it, that ended up going just over the crossbar. Anyway, Kairat Almaty will have the corner here on the hour mark on the left-hand side. Celtic with more defending to do here as Jorginho plays the short corner to Gromyko, left-hand side. Looks to try and get the better of Hatate, fails to do so. Kairat Almaty not making the most of that set piece, but Hatate's giving it back to Gromyko, left-hand side. Kairat will now try and recycle it. Here's Tapalov sends that back into a dangerous area. Scales gets a good header, but it's not entirely clear. It's Martinovic, he's gone for goal. It's a good take from Schmeichel at his near post. Martinovic got plenty behind it, albeit at a tight angle, and Schmeichel sends it up towards Yang. He can't keep a hold of it. There's a Celtic player down inside his own box.
From Celtic's point of view, nothing's changed since half-time. If anything, they've got a little bit better, the opposition.
Well,
The first few minutes of the second half, I thought Celtic started well, but it's a few minutes of the game. They look like the team that are kind of on top at the minute.
Anthony Ralston is down, which is not good news for Celtic in the sense that they're already without their first choice right back. They definitely don't want to be losing their backup, albeit they do have Worcester on the bench. Colby Donovan, who made his debut in place of Ralston at the weekend, but it would be a big ask for him to come into a game like this, as Ralston requires treatment here. Just looking back at that Martinovic effort, which he did well to get on target actually, but a comfortable take in the end for Schmeichel. What changes would you like to see then from Celtic again?
If I'm being totally honest, I think what we said at half-time, I put Maeda out to the left, and I think bring Ida on. Engels is a possibility to come on as well, but I think the first change that we'll probably see would be Ida. I think put Maeda back out to the left, because Celtic are struggling to get any real possession in the final third. In fact, I'd probably even say their half, to be honest with you.
Dan Glazer is also down, getting a bit of treatment here as Ralston goes off, having had a bit of treatment himself. Looks like Kairat are going to be the first to make a change here, as Damir Casabulat is being prepared. Looks like Glazer is perhaps done. He seems to be walking freely enough, but certainly Casabulat is being prepared. He can play in a number of different positions, but it is Dan Glazer who's going to troop off here by the looks of it. Casabulat, Kazakhstan under-21 international, come on to replace him. 63 minutes almost played here, and for such a high-stakes game, the nerves and the fraught nature of it are certainly taking precedence over the levels of excitement. The first change of the game is made by the home side as Casabulat comes on. Celtic just waiting to see if Ralston's going to be okay to come on. It looks like he's going to be fine to return. The ball is thrown back to Kasper Schmeichel. Still no goals then in Almaty between Kairat and Celtic. Difficult to separate these two. Satati nods it in field, given away by McGregor, unusually. Ball breaks out to the left-hand side, kept in by Yang. Back to Tierney. Ralston's back in the park as Scales has it, and up towards Hatati, who play it forward to Nugent, who's just off on that left-hand side at the moment. Now it's Yang into Hatati. Hatati manages to squeeze it into the feet of Forrest. He can't keep a hold of it though. Kairat pick up midway inside their own half, and will try and come forward here through Marinsky. Marinsky can't find a teammate though. And the game continues to be very disjointed. 0-0 it stands. Listen to Sports Sound at BBC Radio Scotland. You have live coverage also of Club Brugge against Rangers, the second leg of that tomorrow night, as Rangers try and recover from a 2-goal deficit in the first leg at Ibrox and take their place in the Champions League group stage, I should say, as Forrest puts a decent ball into the middle, but Yang unable to get in the end of it, cleared away by Tapalov out to the right, out to the far side.
That's a quality ball from James Forrest. I think that's the first real quality ball we've had in all night.
First time he's really went to the fullback and had the chance to, but it was a good ball, but he's only really got Yang in there. He's hit it slightly early, hasn't he, because there's no one else in the box.
Out for a throw into Kairat, midway inside their own half, right-hand side, to be taken by Tapalov. On the clock. Still no sign of a breakthrough. Kairat had the best opportunity in this second half for sure, and they got an indirect free kick 6 yards out. They failed to make it pay. Maida's one inside, a free kick quickly taken by McGregor to the left-hand side, but it's given away all too cheaply once again by Celtic. They just haven't been themselves in terms of possession. The fall now come Kairat down that left flank. Cardino just unable to get there, but it's behind for another corner off Carter Vickers. Tried to play it back to Schmeichel. As Gromyko just feels his hamstring.
Poor pass back again from Carter Vickers. Not like him. Normally he's fairly secure. A little bit, no casual, it's just a little bit sloppy under pressure.
It's difficult to tell. I mean, Brian was giving us an idea at half-time, and Aidan mentioned it early on, but the pitch must be really poor, because it's definitely affecting the players and their ability to control the ball, pass the ball. Anyway, Celtic got a corner to defend here, away by McGregor at the near post from the delivery. Back out with Jorginho left-hand side. He's away from Yang. Gromyko tries to play it forward for Jorginho once again, but Hatate just sees it behind.
Good defensive work there from Hatate, followed his runner. Important, look there, the ugly little bits you've got to get right. Stop the crosses coming in.
The one thing I'll say is that, knowing how bad the pitch is in terms of being able to play on it, I've seen a lot of one-touch passes from Celtic where they're trying to lay the ball off. Obviously McGregor's one with Schmeichel had to handle it, and he's on his own goal line, and then McGregor again. Quite a few Celtic players are kind of not wanting to take responsibility on the ball, which I think has to be done in a game like this.
Maida trying to make some headway down that left flank, but just succeeds in knocking the ball out of play for a Kairat throw-in, almost at the midway point in the second half, and still no goals.
And no substitutes, surprisingly. Here we go.
Well, funny you should say that. Arne Engels and Aramida getting some final instructions, and those are the two you both mentioned as being the most likely to come on, and indeed they are going to enter the fray just shortly. As Kairat will pick up on the left-hand side. It's Mata, Portuguese fullback, comes back the way to Jorginho, just inside the Celtic half, into Martinovic. Then it's Arad back out to Jorginho, tries to play it forward to Mata. That breaks down. Martinovic still gets it into Arad on the halfway line once more, and he spreads play out to the right-hand side to Tapalov, the right back. Looks up into the area, sends it in. Scales gets his head to it. Important winning header there from the Irishman. Forrest picks up, knocks it back into McGregor. That's been given away again by the Celtic captain. Unfortunately for him, it breaks back the way and into the possession of Kasper Schmeichel, but it's highly unusual when you see Callum McGregor giving the ball away once, never mind a couple of times, as we've seen in the last few minutes.
Yep, that's one thing Callum doesn't do very often, give the ball away. He'll be disappointed, but there's no doubt the pitch is not great. We'll cut them some slack for that.
Yeah, but even then, right before that, you've seen, it's just what I was saying there, Ralston has tried to lay it off first time again and played it straight to a Kairat player. Look, they've kind of got their tails up a little bit.
Yeah.
Scales under pressure, back to Schmeichel. Still goalless. 69 minutes on the clock almost. As Maida lays it back to Hatate. Again, he can't connect, this time with Forrest. Kairat pick up once more. Midway inside the Celtic half, Carter Vickers makes a good challenge. It comes to Forrest. He moves away from his marker. Maida moves to his right. It's a poor ball from Forrest though. Negrin absolutely no chance of getting onto that one. And
the interest is he comes off. Yang, Forrest, both. Negrin go wide right.
I think Forrest might stay on.
Do you?
I think he'll put Maeda left.
Right.
I just think out the two, I think Forrest has been slightly more influential than Yang. I think Yang's had more opportunities on the ball, and
Forrest numbers up.
Forrest and Yang
I'll
both
take it back then.
Yeah, he'll bring
That
both
was good
up.
for me.
Engels will go into Negrin's position. Negrin will go wide right.
Forrest and Yang are the players making way for Engels and Ida.
That's what I'd have done.
Let's see if what Brendan Rodgers has done works. As Celtic seek a goal in the final 20 minutes here. Otherwise, we're heading for another half hour at the very least. On comes Aramida. Well, he can silence a few critics tonight if he can pop up with a goal that takes Celtic into the Champions League. As Kairat play it long from the back. Away by Carter Vickers. Picked up though in the second ball by Kairat. Just at the edge of the penalty area. Attempted shot is charged down pretty comfortably. Nugren slips and was fouled as he did so. And Celtic will get the free kick midway inside their own half. 0-0 after 70 minutes. See if the changes bring renewed energy to this Celtic team. Nugent might have just about got away with one there.
I think 100% he did. The slow motion, it didn't look like he was touched.
Here's Carter Vickers, about 10 yards inside his own half. Square to Scales, little flick. It's a nice one from Ida, actually. And now it's Nugent out to the right-hand side. Chance for Ralston. Can't beat the first man, though. Behind for a corner. But that was a good opening.
That's a fantastic first touch from Adam Ida. Excellent little play around the corner, little flick. Good pass wide from Nygren to Anthony Ralston. He's got to get a better call into the box. He's got to miss the first defender.
He's almost had it straight though, hasn't he? He's not put any bend on it to get around the defender, but great play from Ida.
There's Engels, the corner kick, right-hand side, out swinger to the near post. A poor one, easily defended and knocked away. Still 0-0 as McGregor goes to retrieve possession on the halfway line. 72 minutes almost played. It could well be next goal is the winner. Carter Vickers back out to the right-hand side for Nygren, back in to Ralston, and now Scales leaves it to McGregor on the halfway line. Now it's out to the left to Tierney. Tierney forward, but well read by Tapalov. Maida was on his heels, and Kairat will try and spring the counter. Don't commit a lot of bodies forward, though, even on these counters.
Good defensive work was that. Engels.
Ricardinho going down looking for a free kick, but the referee's not interested, nor is his assistant, who was close to it. And here is Engels bringing the ball forward over the halfway line. Can the Belgian be the difference maker? Another one who perhaps still has a few to convince, but if either he or Ida can pop up with a crucial intervention in the closing stages here, they would be massive heroes as far as Celtic are concerned. Celtic have the ball through Scales, just inside the Kairat half, plays it square for Engels, takes a touch in that bobbly pitch and then plays it forward for Nygren. He gets out to the right-hand side to Ralston. Back now with Engels, midway inside Kairat territory, just to the right of centre. Plays it to his left. First time ball in by Tierney. I'm not sure, it wasn't a great pass to him in the first instance, but
I think he has
ball
to
forward certainly.
Has to take a touch there.
Yeah,
he's got to take a touch there.
It's a poor ball, but with his technical ability, he's got to pull it down. So he's just hooking it on. But better from Celtic already.
I think, sorry John, I was going to say, I think there was that Dane Murray who was getting stripped in the technical area there, and I wonder if that's Ralston who had a bit of treatment. I wonder if he is going to have to come off if it is indeed Dane Murray. That would be slightly unorthodox, I think, for him to play it right back, but we'll wait and see what transpires as Maida now picks up left-hand side of the penalty area. This is a good position. Can't get it past the first man again. Does win the corner, but Celtic, when they've got into half-decent positions, they haven't been able to deliver the final ball, but perhaps Engels from that left-hand side with the corner can do so. You know how dangerous he can be, particularly from that left-hand side with the in-swinger. Yeah, the change is going to come. Actually, it's Tierney whose number's been held up for Murray, so that's more straightforward in the sense that Scales will just go out to the left flank and Murray will come into centre defence. But the first thing he'll do is go into the Kairat box and try and get his head on this corner from Arne Engels. 75 minutes played almost as Arne Engels steps up with this corner, left-hand side. The in-swinger forthcoming here. Murray just in the park, Carter Vickers in there as well. Adam Ida is more than able in the air, as is Scales. Celtic find the opening goal. It's swung in near post. It comes off a Kairat head first, and they manage to thump it clear. Picked up by Ralston. Ralston out to the right-hand side. Hatate was waiting for it, I'm not sure why. And eventually it comes off him and out for a throw-in on this near side. Brendan Rodgers claiming it was a Celtic throw-in, but the decision goes Kairat's way, and Celtic again don't make the most of the set-piece opportunity. Quarter of an hour remaining. It's FC Kairat Almaty 0, Celtic 0.
I don't want to be too critical of the players in possession, because I know it's a very, very difficult surface to play on, but even McGregor there, I'm kind of half expecting McGregor to turn there and play the ball away, but he plays like a short pass to Ralston, and Ralston's kind of under pressure, and there's not a lot he can do with it, and then again Celtic are under pressure.
back with Schmeichel. Still no goals with under a quarter of an hour left of the 90. And I think, as we've been saying, the more it goes on, the more and more likely that one goal wins it. The more and more likely extra time will be required. As Hatate now picks up left-hand side, plays it short to Callum McGregor going down that left flank. Now Maida steps in off the left, midway inside the Kairat half. Cross into the box is cleared. Hatate does well to keep it alive. Here's Engels, tries to poke it out to the right. Kairat get bodies in the way, and now we'll try and counter. McGregor, though, stepping in to thwart that, and he gets it back to Carter Vickers on the halfway line. Murray. And now McGregor once more on the halfway, looking for options. Plays it square to Murray, who's gone left centre back. And now Carter Vickers once more. Just a couple of yards inside Kairat territory. Back in field to McGregor. McGregor looks ahead of him. Nothing much moving. So he goes back the way to Murray, and now Carter Vickers once more. Murray plays it straight forward for Ida. Ida lay off. It was a nice one for Engels. Engels going to try his luck from distance. Did it take a nick on its way through? Referee has a look and then points for a goal kick. Celtic are convinced it took a deflection. And,
again, it's a nice move there. I think it was Dane Murray picks up, he fires it right through Ida's feet. Midfielder supporting, drives forward, gets a shot. Need more of that. That's where the goal's going to come from, that kind of move.
I think it did just take a little nick off the calf of one of the defenders, but the referee didn't spot it. Unfortunately for Celtic, it's simply a goal kick. But both Engels and Ida have made a positive impact since coming on. Ball picked up in the midfield by Kairat, not for long though. Celtic just seem to be having the better of it in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Can they take advantage of that as Ida comes out to the right hand side, holds the ball up well and wins the throw-in of Gromyko.
I think the only thing you lose from Negrin going wide right is he plays very, very inside, doesn't he? So you're relying on Ralston to get forward through crosses in the box, and you don't really have that width anymore, or it's got to come from Ralston.
It's Carter Vickers now in possession, midway inside the Kairat half. Negrin, who is, as Aidan says, almost like an inside right as opposed to a right winger. Back with Murray. He gets it back again from Callum McGregor. Celtic staying patient. They know that one goal will do it in all likelihood. It's Hatate into McGregor, left hand side. Maida now plays it in field. Hatate can't hold possession. Kairat though at the moment, they're unable to string passes together.
Yeah, they're now looking very tired. I would be very surprised if Celtic don't create something before the end of the game.
Let's hope so. It's Maida left hand side looking to link with Hatate, doesn't quite get through there with the 1-2, and Kairat again pick up possession, and not only that, they've got the free kick off Hatate as down goes Marinsky under what Hatate felt at least not a great deal of contact. Still goalless as Kairat make another change here. Off will come Ricardinho, and Ramazan Bagda, another teenager from the youth academy, is going to come on. Certainly pinning their hopes on youth. This Kairat side, 18-year-old now, will come on. Didn't play at all at Celtic Park, but he's going to get his opportunity here. 3 goals for the season, and a chance to make himself a real hero with these home fans as he comes on for the closing stages. No goals as yet, and deep into the closing minutes of this game as Kairat take the free kick up towards the edge of the penalty area. It's picked up on the edge of the box but knocked away, and now out to the left hand side for Mata. Mata knocks it back the way and then goes for the return, but I think that's going to bounce out of play. Indeed it has. Celtic will have the throw in deep in their own half, taken by Ralston. Gets the ball back, thumps it high, not too much distance on it. Kairat get it back up towards the edge of the Celtic penalty area. Carter Vickers gets in an important challenge, gets it to Nugren, who comes back the way. Ralston for Schmeichel. Schmeichel's distribution on this occasion isn't great. It's picked up by Marinsky. Was he knocked to the ground by Maida? The referee's in a good position and says no, as Maida tries to come forward now. He can't get beyond the initial challenge though, and it's not back into the Celtic penalty area. Behind for a goal kick. It's Kairat 0, Celtic 0. 10 minutes to play. And the question is, are we going to get a winner inside the 90?
I hope so, but the longer this game goes on, you start to kind of look ahead to the game at the weekend as well. An extra 30 minutes possibly, penalties, and I think as well the journey that Celtic have had to fly across there, is that going to take its effect on the kind of final stages of this game? It's been very frustrating so far.
Would that, so say Celtic played extra time and go through, or if they played 90 minutes but lost, would that not almost have more of an effect, actual going out of the Champions League psychologically? Would that have more of an impact potentially?
Of course it would psychologically, yeah, because listen, every single player, every single member of the club wants to get through the Champions League, every single supporter. It's the biggest thing that the club can do, but it's the longer this tie goes on, the more and more scrappy it's kind of becoming. There's been a lack of quality so far from over the two legs, but it's you've got domestically it's been good so far without hitting top gear yet, but so far in Europe these two games have been very, very poor.
You can see why Brendan Rodgers has been saying, John, to play Champions League football, Celtic need additions to the squad, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think every Celtic supporter, and I'm sure every board member, will be watching this thinking we should have had two forward players in before this tie. There'll just be fingers and toes crossed that they get over the line here.
83 almost played in Almaty. It's Kairat 0, Celtic 0. Celtic have a free kick just inside Kairat half. Goes back the way to Murray. Callum McGregor now. A man who's seen it all, done it all for Celtic. He needs to help drag Celtic through one way or the other into the Champions League stage. That's what it's all about. It's the place to be. It's absolutely where Celtic want to be playing their football. Anything else is a real anticlimax for them. A club that is used to playing in the top tier these days, looking to qualify for the 14th time for the Champions League proper. As Ralston picks up and goes back the way to Carter Vickers. Again, it's a little bit laborious, nothing really particularly pleasing on the eye for either side, as Schmeichel tries to clip it up towards Nugren, but he's beaten to it. Down the left-hand side comes Gromyko. Will be chased here by the young substitute, but not reach it. Baghdad out for a goal kick. 84 played, 6 minutes of the 90 left to play. Kairat 0, Celtic 0.
I mean, I've said it before, I'd like to see Carter Vickers stepping forward. Too many passes to his fellow central defender. Step forward, draw a man towards you and play the pass into the next zone.
For me, it's always been players' pass responsibility onto the goalkeeper, and relying on Schmeichel to pass the ball out to your fullback. You take responsibility and you make the pass yourself.
Throw into the home side. Left. Luis Mata has taken, I would say, about half a dozen foul throws in this game. Not once has he been penalised for it. Here they come. It's Baghdad on the edge of the box, out to the right-hand side. Marinsky now into the penalty area, up against a couple of Celtic players. It's Maida back there doing the hassling and harrying, and he's done brilliantly to see that.
Brilliant defensive work from Maida. His contribution going forward has been next to nothing, but defensively in the second half he's got back and helped his team out.
He and Marinsky both been spoken to by the referee for a little bit of coming together after the ball had been seen out of play by Maida. He just stepped across Marinsky there, and
power and strength.
Yeah, a wee bit of afters between the two, but nothing of any great note. And so play resumes. Final 5 minutes of the 90. No goals between Kairat Almaty and Celtic over the two legs. Celtic have never won in Kazakhstan. They need to change that this evening. But it's Kairat coming forward. Carter Vickers gets an important interception in there, but Kairat pick up once more. Gromyko, left-hand side of the box, supported here by Mata. Mata takes a touch, about 10 yards from the byline, sends it into the box. Callum McGregor gets it half clear. Gromyko will pick up once more. Shot comes in from about 25 yards, easily charged down. McGregor emerges with possession and will try and slot that forward. And now Maida's through, and this could be the moment. Maida cuts across goal. It's Maida over the top. Glorious opportunity for Dyson Maida. You'd have put your house on him scoring it last season, but this season you just cannot recapture that form, and he blazes over from the edge of the box, and a huge opportunity goes a-begging with 4 minutes to play.
Tremendous play from Cal McGregor. Wins the ball in the middle of the pitch, plays a wonderful pass through behind their back line. Maida driving through. Again, how many times do we see it? Last year it was hitting the back of the net. This season they're over the bar, hitting the keeper. That's a great chance. He's got to be burying that.
I don't think we'll see a better chance. But see, you've just got to be slight. That's one thing I'd always say about Maida's finishing. I think I said it last week as well with that chance. A top finisher just lifts that over the keeper, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he's down already. He's hitting it with power and pace, and he's caught it, and it's just rising over the bar. But fantastic opportunity there.
33 goals last season for Dyson Maida, Player of the Year in Scotland, and I don't think there was too much argument about that, but he's passed up a big chance tonight. He passed up a really big one in injury time at Celtic Park as well, when he passed it into the same keeper's arms. And I wonder if that will come back to haunt him. Hopefully not. 3 minutes left of the 90. Still 0-0. But Dyson Maida played through a wonderful ball from Callum McGregor. Just split the defence completely wide open. Almaty were trying to get bodies back, but Maida lifted it too high. And so it's still 0-0 as Kairat have a free kick now over on the right-hand side, about 15 yards inside the Celtic half. Surely a goal now would be the winner for either side. And the header comes in and Schmeichel turns it round the post. It was Arad who met it at the back post, and I think that might just have crept in had Schmeichel knocked it down to turn it round.
That was a good header. Easy save. He was in good position. Schmeichel was in a good position. His starting position was good.
Just runs off the back of Negrin there. He's ball watching, isn't he? Good from Schmeichel to be alert there.
Yeah, he had to be. 2 minutes to play, 0-0. Kairat have a corner kick to be taken by Gromyko here, left-hand side. Another poor ball in, easily dealt with it near post. Maida's done well, almost gets the break of the ball as well to break upfield, but Kairat have one man back in Marinsky, who just hammers it forward. Celtic will have a throw-in. 90 seconds remaining in the 90 minutes.
The game's opened up, lots of spaces now. This is when usually Maeda, his fitness and his speed, and the space opens up for him and he can use it.
Yeah, he's one man who you'd expect to still be full of running. He seems to have an engine like no other. He's just knocked the ball out of play over on the far side. Throw in to be taken by Tapalov here, midway inside the Celtic half. Down the right come Kairat, stabbed away. Kairat will try and play it forward once more. McGregor and then Hattati step in, but Kairat have it back once more on the halfway line. Tapalov switches play. It's a clever switch of play actually, because Mata is in absolute acres of space here, left-hand side. Chance to measure the cross. Scales slips, it's glanced, I think, almost off the toes there by Jorginho of Baghdad, I think it was, coming in behind him. If he'd left it, maybe there would have been a better opportunity. As it was, ends up harmlessly behind for a goal kick, and in the final minute of the 90 it's still Kairat 0, Celtic 0.
We're definitely sending players forward now, which the first period of the second half they weren't doing that at all. They were sitting back and kind of trying to look to counter, but that's it's a few occasions now where they've been forward and they're just, Celtic are starting to look a little bit tired here.
Schmeichel then with the goal kick. We just await the fourth official's board to see how long will be added on. 4 minutes minimum to be added on at the end of this game. Otherwise, if there are no goals within that, we are looking at another half an hour of this. I'm not sure anyone signed up for that, but we take it rather than elimination, of course, as it's launched forward by Anar Bekov, and one for Gromyko to chase, but Ralston does well to get in there ahead of him and nod that back to Schmeichel. And it was bowled out by Schmeichel to Engels. Engels forward down the right-hand side. What on earth is Liam Scales doing up in the right wing position? But that's where he is. And it's knocked out of play. Throw into Celtic, 25 yards from the corner flag. Actually, it was Nugren, actually. I thought it was Scales who'd stayed up there, but in fact it was Benji Nugren. But anyway, it's out for a throw in here to Celtic, right-hand side. Ralston to take this one, about 20 yards from the corner flag. Throws it into the feet of Maida. Back to Ralston, tries to get round Gromyko. Is he fouled? No, actually it's gone the other way, according to the assistant, who says that Ralston was the perpetrator there, and Kairat get the free kick deep in their own territory. I'm not sure he does too much wrong there, Tony Ralston. Brendan Rodgers not happy, and Kairat they'll get the free kick deep in their own half. A minute and a half of stoppage time gone, 2.5 to come. It's played forward rather aimlessly by Einar Beckhoff, the goalkeeper, straight behind for a goal kick to Celtic. Schmeichel keen to get us back underway. Extra time looming here in Almaty. As Schmeichel prepares to take this goal kick. Can Celtic come up with something special in the closing couple of minutes here to clinch their place among Europe's elite for yet another season? It's hammered forward by Mata. Carter Vickers returns it to the halfway line. It's going to break in the middle of the park for Kairat. He'll come forward. Murray gets his head in the way, but it comes to Baghdad. Baghdad takes a shot on, but it's too high as far as he's concerned. 5 yards or so over the top from the teenager. It's up nicely for him, actually. You can understand why he'd want to take it on, but he didn't get hold of it as he wanted to, and it flies over Schmeichel's crossbar. And deep into stoppage time, it's still Kairat 0, Celtic 0.
I'd love to say I'm confident of us getting a winner now, but this game's moved to the latter stages. They're coming back into it.
Carter Vickers heads it forward, but out of play. Extra time seems inevitable now. We've got less than a minute to play of added on time as Arad prepares to take the throw-in down on the left-hand side. Goalless in Almaty.
For how defensive we've said Almaty have been tonight, they've actually been in the better positions in the second half, the positions that you'd like to see Celtic in, aside from that chance that Maida had.
Headed out on the left-hand side by Kairat, picked up though by Engels in the halfway line. Is there time for one more opportunity? Well, Carter Vickers goes back the way to Kasper Schmeichel. 20 seconds of the 4 minutes left to play. Carter Vickers will go long down the right channel, looking for Ida, met though by the head of Martinovic, out for a throw-in this near side. Time running out. Celtic have a throw-in taken by Ralston. Can't find Engels though. And there's the full-time whistle. A goalless end to the 90 minutes. Celtic's best opportunity came just 4 minutes before the end of the 90 as McGregor played in, dies in Maida, and it's a wonderful chance that Maida has missed in the end, going through but from the edge of the box, lifting it over the top. Celtic survived a big scare just 10 minutes into the second half as a McGregor back pass bounced goalwards and had to be handled by Schmeichel in order to keep it from going into the back of the net. The indirect free kick was awarded, but from that, just 6 yards out, Jorginho's effort was blocked by the outrushing Celtic wall, and neither side really able to test the opposing goalkeeper much beyond that. There was an Arad header late in the second period that Schmeichel had to get down to turn round the post, but otherwise the second half has been almost as bereft as the first of decent opportunities, and so we will play an extra half an hour in Almaty because it is finished. Kairat 0, Celtic 0.
Celtic in the UEFA Champions League playoff round.
Live on Sports Sound
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Yes, you're listening to European Sports with me, Kenny McIntyre. Tom English also alongside us in the studio. We can see both sets of players in a huddle on the side of the pitch here, receiving words of wisdom and hopefully, Tom English, words of inspiration. We did see a couple of exciting moments in that second half, as Al described there. There was the back pass that was tipped over the bar by Schmeichel, the resultant free kick. They were claiming for a handball. It wasn't a handball in the box. And then, of course, that glorious chance. And again, it goes back to that game right in stoppage time, the game at Celtic Park, Tom, where Maeda had that chance. He fluffed his lines. He did so again. We're not used to seeing that from him. He's usually a lot better than that.
Well, he was a lot better than that last season. But I don't think he started this season particularly well. Shadow of the player we saw last season. But then Celtic are a shadow of the team that we saw at various points last season. Listen, I mean, if they go through here, they're the luckiest Champions League team in many, many years. To get 40 million after playing that kind of muck for 90 minutes would be remarkable. Kairat Almaty are a very, very, very average team. At least they've come through 3 ties to get to this point. You know, they've battled their way through 3 ties. Celtic have done nothing. They haven't scored a goal in 2 games against, and I'm being kind, a very moderate team. So, you know, even if they do get through, it'll be great, and Brendan Rodgers will come out and he'll be beaming and all the rest of it. This is a lousy Celtic performance. Lousy.
Yeah, listen, that's a very good word, John, isn't it, to describe it. Would you expect Kairat Almaty now to perhaps sit in a bit more? Do you think they would take penalties right now?
No, I think towards the end of the game they got a little bit stronger, putting Celtic under pressure, created a chance at the back post with the header. So I would say the last 10 minutes there, they seemed to get stronger a little bit. Their substitutes re-energised them. It's been final third. Celtic, there's no player that's looking like they can beat a man, get shots off. None of the forward players, even the midfielder players, they're not getting up into the final third, edge of the box. The set plays, not been any great deliveries into the box. It's just been kind of flat.
Look, Brendan Rodgers said yesterday, no excuses. So forget about the pitch, even though it might be a problem. Forget about the fact that he hasn't had many new signings in. No excuses. His words, not ours. So we're going to have to take him at his word. There's no excuses for this. This is a performance that's beneath Celtic. I think it's a really, really disappointing performance. I thought they'd be a lot better than this.
I'd be very surprised.
For 80 minutes, Aidan, their XG, if you want to believe in XG, a lot of people think it's, you know, for the geeks. They had an XG of 0.1, which is pathetic. They finished with an XG of 0.59, which is also pathetic.
Well, do you know what?
I'd be very surprised if Rodgers does come out and talk about the pitch, because I think we can all see the performance hasn't
been really
off over 2 legs.
Well, listen, we were all gripped by his media conference last week. It was absolutely dynamite. What will he have to say after this one tonight? There is so much at stake. Let's get back there. We're into extra time. John Collins, Aidan McGeady and Alistair Lamont.
Thanks again, Kenny. Yeah, I suspect what you'll have to say will be largely dictated by whether they've gone through or not, but if they do go through, it is rather covering up some of the shortcomings, if you like, of this Celtic side, but Brendan Rodgers has been more than aware of those for some time now. Celtic get us back underway then. Immediately Kairat snap into the challenge and try and play forward, but it's a player down actually. The referee's not especially interested in his claims for a free kick and allowing Celtic to continue at the moment. It's Jorginho who's gone down, seems to be in some distress. Didn't quite see any particular contact that caused that. I mean,
yeah, he's caught him in the shin. It's just a kick.
It's a little bit follow through, isn't it, from Scales, but nothing really untoward. I'm sure Jorginho will be fine. Liam Scales actually been spoken to by the referee. I'm not sure if that's as a result of VAR having a word in his ear, but certainly there was nothing that would suggest further action was required against Liam Scales. Jorginho is back on his feet. Rio Hatate, as ever, is concerned for even the opponent's welfare.
I think the referee's done a good job tonight. He's let the game flow. He's not booked anybody really for soft bookings. Often in Europe you get that. Referees can be very pernickety throwing the cards about, but he's been okay.
Jorginho's not happy with Liam Scales. He's shouting the odds at him. The referee stepping in.
On the replay, he did catch him on his shin though. On the replay, it looked like he did catch him in the follow through, and his shin guard went off to the side. I think that's what he's complaining about.
It was just, I mean, I know that sometimes nowadays particularly, we do have to be, the follow through from a fair challenge can still be penalised, but it did look to be a initially fair challenge, and it just happened to, I don't think there was anything malicious. Again,
no.
That nonetheless, it can still be penalised regardless of a lack of malice. But on that occasion, the referee allowing it to go with unpunished, and Celtic have got us back underway. A couple of minutes of extra time gone then. Still no goals in Almaty. It's approaching midnight out there now. Celtic, I think, have just stayed on UK time effectively, so they won't necessarily be feeling the effects of playing so late. The short turnaround for the trip means that makes better sense. The sports scientists, I think, will tell you that nowadays. Kairat have got a free kick on the halfway line, just inside their own half. It's to be taken by Sorokin. Martinovic, the veteran centre-back, still going strong there as it's played forward down the right for Kairat. Back it comes now to Marinsky. Marinsky infield, back to Sorokin. Sorokin, the centre-back, out to the left-hand side now for Mata. Mata from a deep position will try and swing it into the box. It's just behind Baghdad. Marinsky can't make anything of it, but it falls to Gromyko. And then Jorginho gets out to the left-hand side. Here's Gromyko once more from the left. Comes off Celtic player Anthony Ralston, and behind for a corner. 3.5 minutes of extra time played, still 0-0.
Keep the Celtic pinned down at the minute with high pressing, and Celtic can't really seem to get a foothold in the game the start of this first half extra time, but need to defend this corner now.
Left-hand side, looks like it was going to be an outswinger to be taken by the left-footed Belarusian Gromyko onto the penalty spot. It's won by Martinovic, but fortunately for Celtic, no Kairat player lurking on the edge of the 6-yard box, and it bounces through to Kasper Schmeichel. If there had been another Kairat player on their toes there, it could have been trouble. As it is, Celtic deal with it. Now Scales plays it forward, looking for Ida in the channel. Martinovic has got something on it, but Ida's picked up left-hand side, rolls it back in. This is a chance. Hatate blocked, and then the rebound won't fall for a Celtic body, and the chance is gone. A big block in there. Hatate on the slide just couldn't control the shot and really test the goalkeeper.
Terrific play from Ida. Made a good penetrating run in behind. Got the ball, lifted his head up, kept on the deck. Nice pass to Hatate, stretching for it, but never really got a clean hit.
It was another half chance though, certainly, in a game that has had few opportunities. That one certainly goes down as one of the better ones.
I would say slightly more than a half chance. Great chance, to be honest with you. Just obviously sliding at the very last minute to kind of get contact with the ball, but first time we've really seen either kind of open up his legs and kind of get beyond or disrupt the back line.
That's made a bit of a difference, so hasn't he, Adam Ida? That's 2 or 3 occasions he's been involved in decent attacking play. Here's McGregor trying his luck from way out, and really it's going to have to be something very special to beat any keeper from that distance, and as it was, McGregor didn't really catch it. Anar Bekov able to take it pretty comfortably. Did see Callum McGregor score from distance on a number of occasions last season, so entitled to take it on.
Yep, 100%. Driving forward, edge of the box, 20 yards, have a dig. He never caught it sweetly. It was an easy one, but I need to see more of that as well. Midfielders driving forward with the ball.
95 played now in Almaty, no goals. As Celtic lose possession, but then immediately win it back through McGregor. Right-hand side, they pick it up. McGregor again for Ralston. And now Carter Vickers. Dane Murray came on for Kieran Tierney towards the end of that second period. Tierney clearly not quite able to manage 90 minutes as yet. As Kairat pinch possession in the middle of the park. Now they've got a few bodies in an advanced area. It's Baghdad out to the right-hand side now for Marinsky. Marinsky gets the early but poor cross in. McGregor cuts it out. Maida taking a chance in the edge of his own area, but does get it out to Scales, who's moved over to left back now. And Maida into Hattati again, stretching to make sure he gets something on it. He can't link with Ida. And Kairat have it once more, and that's a good ball into the middle. It's Gromyko going for goal, and Schmeichel was scrambling across to his right-hand side, but it does fly a yard or so wide from Gromyko from the edge of the area. Still Kairat 0, Celtic 0.
Good play from Kairat. Actually, good play from Celtic initially from Maeda, and then quite composed getting the ball out on the left hand side, but then just the pass just been a little bit too heavy, and all of a sudden you're under pressure. One pass, it's a shot at goal again.
Yeah, Gromyko trying his luck on his right foot on that occasion, and Schmeichel, you could see, had it covered. 97 played in Almaty in this Champions League playoff round, second leg, still finally poised at 0-0. As Dane Murray has it at the back. You listen to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. Ida again getting turned and trying to burst forward. It's going to break here for Nugent, who goes for goal and forces the goalkeeper into a save. Down to his left-hand side. Again, it looked relatively comfortable, but it was a pretty well-positioned shot, actually, and gets across to that left post and keeps it out. Still 0-0.
Good play. Ball fired into Ida. He gets turned. Ball breaks to Negran. It's a terrific strike.
I thought he seen Maeda making the run out the left-hand side of the pitch. I thought he was going to play him, but unlucky. Good save from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it was definitely going to find the bottom corner had Anarbekov not been able to get down to his left, and Scales with a wayward ball forward, looking to try and play Maeda in the channel, but too much on it, and Anarbekov gathers that one in. 8 minutes gone in this first period of extra time, and still we are no nearer deciding who is going to take their place in Thursday's draw for the Champions League stage alongside the cream of European clubs. You couldn't say that either side could be described as being among the cream just on this performance, but with 2 or 3 additions, perhaps Celtic can get back to that level as they showed last year. They can absolutely live with some of the best clubs in Europe. Here's Hattati coming forward into Nygren. Nygren over to the right-hand side. Ralston's ball's not a good one. It comes back to him. He claims for a handball as he takes the shot on left-footed. It was blocked, certainly. Didn't look like a handball, but everything inside the penalty area is checked. It came off Arad, who's pretty relaxed that it didn't hit his arm. And play is already resumed. Still goalless then as Carter Vickers comes over the halfway line.
He's got to do things quicker, Carter Vickers. Too many touches. Get it wider quicker. Keeps putting his studs on the ball, stopping it. Needs to get the tempo up. The tempo starts with the back players. They do things quicker, it gets into the midfield quicker.
It's a good play from Murray. He took on one of the Kairat players and shifts it to Engels. Again, Celtic slow it down somewhat. It comes back to McGregor. Celtic player gone down off the ball. Can't see, I think it's Hattati. Can't see what happened, but Celtic still in possession. Hattati's back on his feet now. Still in possession at the edge of the centre circle. It's out to Scales, left-hand side. 5 minutes of the first half of extra time remaining. Still goalless in Almaty. Forward comes Celtic. That's a good ball for Hattati. Out comes Sorokin. Now, it's a yellow card there.
For who?
For Hattati for the challenge. I mean, I thought Sorokin just completely misjudged the challenge there and then went down. I'm not sure what Hattati did wrong, but certainly the referee has spotted something and shown Hattati the yellow card. Callum McGregor get an explanation as to why just there, but well, I mean, Sorokin completely misses the ball, and I don't see what Hattati does wrong there.
He's not even touched. It's a shocking decision by the referee. Actually, the free kick's the other way.
Yeah, I agree.
That should have been a free kick for Celtic.
Yeah, I mean, Sorokin misses the ball, goes over the ball.
Bumps it.
If anything, he goes into Hattati, but
Hattati did absolutely nothing.
These are the types of fouls, though, that you end up getting in Europe with foreign referees. You end up getting these, like they kind of seem to go in the other team's favour. Celtic seem to be getting a little bit of joy with the kind of passes from the centre halves into the midfield, and kind of Hatate a couple of times has got turned, McGregor's got turned, and
space is opening up now.
It is, yeah.
There's more gaps now. They're getting tired and those close to one another.
Free kick though taken by Kairat, headed away by Carter Vickers into the last few minutes of the first period of extra time, as Anil Bekov comes out of his area and gets out to the right hand side to Tapalov. Tapalov hoists it forward. Scales will be underneath that one, heads it forward, but to a Kairat player and picked up on the right hand side. It's Tapalov once more. Switch of play out to Mata on the left flank. Nygren will have to get out there and close him down. Goes back the way into Arad. Arad midway inside the Celtic half, sends it to the back post where Marinsky's got time to bring it down. Scales comes across to close him. Now it's Tapalov, back to Marinsky. Tapalov once more, 25 yards from the byline, sends it in. It's over Murray, but cleared by Carter Vickers, and then given away in the middle of the park by Casabulat. But Kairat have won it back once more. Left hand side on the halfway line. Clipped forward by Sorokin. Easy one for Carter Vickers to deal with, but again Celtic can't keep it, and it's Arad picking up in the middle of the park. Here's Casabulat once more. Kairat have possession just inside their own territory. Out to the left hand side now for Mata. Mata able to bring that forward. Kairat have a couple of players just lurking at the edge of the penalty area. Murray with a good header clear, helped on by Nygren, and then up towards Ida, who will just head it to his left, but he can't keep it.
That's where Ida's got to get better. He's got a central half. He's got to know what's round about. He's going to back into the centre half. He's got to get better at that.
That's a couple of times in a row there.
Yeah.
He's kind of
lost possession.
He's tried to lay it off first time.
Yeah.
He has to touch and bring other players into the game now.
Gromyko finding Baghdad, but he couldn't do anything with it at the edge of the Celtic penalty area, and so Celtic get it clear. Still very untidy for the most part, and out of play for a Celtic throw-in just inside their own half, left hand side. Still no goals between Kairat and Celtic. One goal surely would be enough to take either side into the Champions League proper. Kairat for the very first time, Celtic for the fourth year in a row. As it's picked up right hand side, Ralston with a dreadful attempt at a cross ball. Not sure if you can put that down to tiredness, but certainly lacked quality. And Ralston looks to be just feeling the pace. I mean, it's quite rare these days that he plays 90 minutes, far less over that, and just trying to manage the game now, manage his legs as Anar Bekov prepares to take the goal kick's not a good one, and Celtic can try and come forward, but Ida won't latch on to that, and it's out to the left-hand side for Mata. Mata goes forward, looking for Baghdad, but he can't keep a hold of the ball, and McGregor picks up. Certainly looks like it's energy sapping out there. The heat won't be helping in that regard either, as Murray plays it forward for McGregor. Remember, Celtic in action in the Old Firm derby, the first of the season. We'll have live coverage of that on Sportsound on Sunday at midday as well. Rangers playing 24 hours later, but Celtic having extra time to contend with. I think Rangers would certainly take extra time right now if you offered it to them, albeit it would make life potentially more difficult come Sunday. But if they had an opportunity to get back into that tie against Club Brugge, they would absolutely bite your hand off. As it is, it's half-time in extra time in Almaty, and still the stalemate cannot be broken. It is Kairat 0, Celtic 0.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland, European Sports Sound for you this evening. There is so much at stake out in Kazakhstan. It's been a really poor game so far. We're getting into the final 15 minutes and, of course, potentially a penalty shootout. There'll be so much pressure on these players if it does come down to that. Celtic largely disappointing again tonight, Tom. And I think back, I mentioned earlier on about we were glued to the Brendan Rodgers media conference last week, where of course he had several digs at the board, but in many ways that deflected from what was actually a really poor performance in the park from his team, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, look, there's 15 minutes to go. There's still somebody, there's a chance for somebody here. to salvage this. You get into the Champions League, you move on, you analyse later. Can anybody produce here? Has anybody got quality in this Celtic team to deliver a moment that can unlock this desperate stalemate? Or are we just petering? Is this going to peter out? Are you going to meander into penalties? And God knows what's going to happen then. You got to look to the leadership. There's an awful lot of senior players in this Celtic team. We're constantly told by Brendan Rodgers there's a lot of quality in this Celtic team. We haven't seen it.
No.
We haven't seen it. And it's not like they're playing against a European heavyweight. They're playing against a European lightweight. And this Celtic performance, it's a bit shocking, actually. Both Celtic performances, they're a bit shocking. Shocking to see that this team, not that long ago, was going toe-to-toe with Bayern Munich and all the riches and all the world class that they have. Home and away, troubling Bayern Munich, hustling and harrying and hitting them with their quality and really troubling one of the European giants. You wouldn't think this is the same club, not to mind the same team.
With a slightly different squad, though.
Yeah,
a few players down.
Yeah, a few players, but
this is the argument, isn't it?
But this is the argument, exactly, Ed. This is the argument.
Yeah, I mean, 2 players in today. You'll see a story on the BBC Sports Scott website on that. We discussed it earlier in the programme, but again, if Celtic don't get the job done tonight, the questions will be asked: why were these deals not done a whole lot sooner? It's not just about the quality in the park, it's about the whole lift that gives a club with new players, isn't it?
We can't analyse solely on they haven't had too many players in. This is on quality that they have, and they should have enough of it.
Over to you, Al. They're back underway.
Thanks, Kenny. Yeah, back for the second half of extra time with Celtic having made a couple of changes. Luke McCowan and young Colby Donovan, who made his debut at the weekend against Livingston. He is on for a second Celtic appearance in one of the biggest games probably he'll ever likely play in his entire career, with so much on the line. And he has come on for Anthony Ralston. Luke McCowan has come on for Rio Hatati. Celtic in possession. No goals then, with 15 minutes to play. Otherwise, we're facing a penalty shootout. Kairat coming out on top in a penalty shootout in the previous round against Slovan Bratislava. Celtic have played 3 penalty shootouts in UEFA competition. Last one, which they won, the only one they've won actually, against Spartak Moscow in 2007-2008. Were you playing that one, Aidan?
I was.
For Celtic?
For Celtic,
for Celtic, yeah.
For Celtic.
Yeah.
I didn't have a penalty, I get
Yeah.
taken off. I get taken off early. As was happened sometimes under certain managers.
No.
Story for another day.
You going to ask me who the manager was, no?
I think we all remember who it was, but here comes Celtic, a chance for McCowan, deflection, it's a save on the goal line and scrambled clear. Celtic will come again, it's Donovan into the area, and Nugent tries to get it across goal, it's behind for a corner, but big chance in the opening couple of minutes as Luke McCowan almost making an immediate impact, and the goalkeeper doing enough eventually to get it away. 0-0.
I'm happy to see McCowan on though, because I do like him technically as a footballer, and I think especially Celtic are crying out for a bit of composure on the ball here.
In comes a corner from Engels. McGregor picks up at the edge of the box, gets it back out to Nygren, and now it's Engels once more, right hand side. And it comes to Nygren, tries to link with Engels. Nygren tries to keep it alive on the right flank. Kairat defending for their lives just at the moment. They managed to hack it clear. And up towards the halfway line. We've picked it up through Baghdad. He just thumps it anywhere will do, really. But yeah, an immediate impact from the substitute Luke McCowan, testing the goalkeeper, but unfortunately for Celtic not bringing about the opening goal. And so after 108 minutes almost, we still await that.
One thing about Luke McCowan, he likes to pull the trigger, he likes to get up in and around the box, takes responsibility.
It's going to be another corner by the looks of it to Celtic over on the far side, the Celtic left, as McCowan is brought crashing to the ground by Martinovic, the captain. Crunching challenge here. He just slips actually.
He's okay.
Yeah, I think both of them will be fine, but it will be a Celtic corner. Luke McCowan being spoken to, possibly for something he said to the referee. But will be a corner to be taken by Arne Engels. Always like these in-swingers from the left-hand side from Engels. They offer so much threat to the opposing defence. Let's see if he can produce a big one now. Celtic with plenty of bodies in and around the 6-yard box. Ida, Scales, Carter Vickers will be in there as well. As Engels, the Belgian, stands over it, left-hand side, swings it right into the 6-yard box. The keeper comes, doesn't get anything on it. No, neither does anyone else. Scales will go and try and retrieve it. Slid out of play on this near side, and it will be a Celtic throw-in.
It was tremendous delivery from Engels. Just asking for somebody to put their head in it.
It's over the course of 2 legs, though. Celtic have not made any of the set pieces really count.
Yeah.
Coming forward right now, but again, Kairat just thumped the ball clear. Not too many players left up front at the moment for Kairat. I think they would, probably from the off, but certainly now, they would take a shootout right now, I think. They don't look to be nearly as adventurous. Celtic, I'm sure, would like to get this done before penalties beckon. We are only a matter of 10 minutes away from that eventuality, as Dane Murray has it just inside his own half, plays it forward for Ida. It's a slack pass back from Ida, but Schmeichel comes out of his area and just rolls it out to Carter Vickers. Forward he comes, plays it back inside to Murray, and then back to Carter Vickers, just a couple of yards inside his own half, crosses the halfway line, then tries the big diagonal out to Maida. That's cut out by Tapalov and out for a throw-in on the far side to Celtic. Celtic left, midway inside the Kairat half. McCowan back to Scales. McCowan once more. Scales again from left back, tries to come forward, almost bundling his way through. Can't really manage to do so though, and Kairat get up to the halfway line, but they don't seem too bothered about keeping possession right now. They just want to clear their lines, as Martinovic has to get his head to that before Ida gets in behind. Again, it's cleared up to the halfway line by the home side. Again, it'll be picked up and recycled by Celtic, who look like the side who are keener to go and try and win this one rather than wait for penalties. It's a good ball forward from Donovan. It's Engels down that right flank, just outside the penalty area, onto the left foot, sends it into the box, cleared away by Sorokin, and out for a throw-in in this near side to Celtic. 9 minutes left of extra time, still 0-0. Engels, right-hand side, was he fouled there? Yes, he was. Referee gives Celtic the free kick, which Engels is looking to try and take quickly. Arad's in the way. And referee not showing the yellow card for blocking the quick free kick, but certainly having a word with the Israeli midfielder. Celtic will have the free kick then, right-hand side. In a pretty good area this, about maybe 30 yards from the goal line, 10 in from the touch line. And Engels again will take charge of the set piece. Can they find that precious goal that would take them to the promised land? That is the Champions League stage. A couple of players over us on that right-hand side then. Engels and Nugren, but it is Engels. It's a poor delivery from the Belgian on that occasion, easily headed away. Too many of them have been too easy to deal with for the Kairat backline. Celtic pick up once more though. Kairat are pretty much stringing themselves along their own penalty area, looking to keep Celtic at bay. Comes down that right-hand side for Donovan. He's going to get back onto it inside the box. Picks out Nugren. This is a chance here for Celtic. Nugren into the side netting. I think it got a touch of the keeper on its way through. He tried to give him the eyes at the near post, and Arbeckhoff was equal to, and another chance comes and goes for Celtic.
Great play from Donovan. I just think Nugren just took a little bit too long there.
Could he have slipped into McCowan? Look,
yeah,
squared it. McCowan opens it up on his left foot and goes for the far post. Wrong choice, I think.
Nugren denied as the corner comes in right-hand side. This time it's the outswinger from Engels. Comes to the edge of the box. That takes a deflection just wide again. It's going to be another corner. Oh, Celtic knocking on the door here in the closing stages of extra time. Desperate for that winning goal. But as things stand, Kairat still stand firm. But a couple of close things there as Nugren tries his luck. It's going to be Engels once more from the right-hand side. I wonder if there's just a check going on for something here. But again, the assistant steps away, allows Engels to proceed with the corner. Another outswinger. This time it's met at the near post once again by a Kairat defender. And Engels, who can usually be relied upon for his delivery, has let himself down again, but he's won his side a free kick in a good area. So a few yards in from the touchline, a few yards back from the goal line. And this is another good opportunity for the set piece for Celtic. Nygren and Engels once more over from the right-hand side. This is a chance. Celtic have got to make one of these count. 6 minutes of extra time left to play. 0-0 it stands.
I like to see players moving in the box, no standing still. Look, every single one of them standing still, nobody moving backwards, forwards, putting opposition.
I think maybe they're expecting that at the first man.
And Nygren
look,
looks
everybody's static.
I hope not.
Nygren's going to take this left-footed, and it comes to the edge of the 6-yard box. A Kairat body that gets first contact on it. Might just come back out here for Nygren, but Jorginho steps in, knocks it out of play. It's all Celtic attacking just at the moment, but still no goals. As Nygren has it once more right-hand side, slips it in looking for McGregor. Wasn't a great pass though, and again Kairat just stab it out of play through Jorginho. But they don't look too interested in attacking right now. They just want to get to full time and take this to a shootout, as Ida at the byline has to come out of the penalty area. Now it's Engels, tries a little bit of nifty footwork. There's going to be a free kick though the way of Kairat for Engels. Attentions there on Arad. Again, it didn't seem to be too much involved in that, but Arad goes down dramatically, and Engels penalised.
Acrobatic fall by...
Very similar to the first game. Very similar to the first game, playing for time, almost looking for penalties now.
Yeah, it looks that way. As I say,
wasting time.
emerged victorious against Slovan Bratislava in the third qualifying round, 4-3 in their only ever European penalty shootout at Kairat. Celtic have lost 2 of those, one back in 1971-72 European Cup semi-final, actually, to the side that they defeated back in 67, Inter Milan, and then in the UEFA Cup third round in 01-02, losing out to Valencia 5-4 on that occasion. Tapalov is going to be replaced here for the closing 4 minutes by Stanoyev for the home side. And they just need to try and freshen things up slightly. Or perhaps Stanoyev is a penalty kick specialist. We might get the chance to see in fairly short order, under 4 minutes of extra time left to play, as Jug Stanoyev, the Serbian, comes on for the closing stages. 0-0 it stands between Kairat and Celtic, as Carter Vickers climbs all over the back of Baghdad, but nothing given against him. Baghdad waved to his feet, probably rightly so on this occasion. And forward come Celtic once more, looking for that elusive but potentially priceless, almost Champions League winning goal. Carter Vickers it is, 10 yards inside. Kairat have absolutely everyone behind the ball now for the Kazakhs. As Scales plays it back the way again to Murray on the halfway line. Carter Vickers once more. Carter Vickers now clips it up towards the edge of the penalty. Ida can't win it, but it does fall to Nygren. Good challenge on the edge of the box, but Scales picks up, and now it's McGregor. Back to Engels, right-hand side is Donovan. Donovan about 20 yards from the byline, comes forward, links with McCowan, and now it's back with Engels, right-hand side, comes back the way again to Carter Vickers. Celtic looking for that one opening that might bring about the winning goal. Donovan back to Carter Vickers, still right-hand side once more. McGregor now into McCowan, opens up a little bit now for Murray. Murray midway inside the Kairat half. Kairat with 10 players outfield behind the ball. Maida in behind, couldn't bring it under control. Out comes the keeper, and then hacked away by Martinovic. It was a good run and a good pick out for Maida, but he just couldn't get a decent first touch on it. And Kairat clear their lines once again. 2 minutes of extra time to play with Martinovic grounded here. It's Kairat 0, Celtic 0.
That was good play from Celtic and a terrific pass through from Cal McGregor, but once again Maeda's first touch letting him down. Too often in the last couple of games his touches let him down. At this level you've got to have a better touch.
I think he's lacking a little bit of confidence.
Yes.
In front of goal, definitely.
Yep, without a doubt.
I think when that ball came through from McGregor, great run from Maida, which you always expect, and great pick out from McGregor, but I just wasn't that confident he was going to take a good first touch there. Whereas last season you would have said he's taking a good first touch and he's finishing it.
I agree. He's off the boil this season.
That's very early days, of course, but these are the important games.
Buyback is coming on for the last minute or so of extra time for Luis Mata.
This is the most important game of the season, I think.
Well, you need your big players to turn up, don't you?
So a minute of extra time plus whatever's added on at the end left to play. Otherwise, we're going to have penalties to decide who goes through to the Champions League itself. It's McCowan left-hand side for Celtic. They have been the team doing most of the attacking in this second half of extra time, but is it too little, too late? Are they going to have to rely on spot kicks to see them through as McCowan gets to the corner flag, hoofs it into the area? Kairat desperately trying to get it clear. 30 seconds remaining of the 120 minutes as Celtic pick up possession once more, but it's back at the halfway line. They need it forward. They certainly don't look in any danger of losing this inside extra time unless Kairat now in possession can mount a counter here. Forward it goes, looking for Baghdad. He's going to pick up possession on that right-hand side. We're just seconds away from 120 minutes being up. Baghdad tries to play it off, Scales doesn't come off, and Celtic get the goal kick.
Just lacking a little bit of invention, Celtic. Just the last 5-10 minutes has kind of all been in front of Kairat. They've got every single man behind the ball, but it's all been very, very. It's been slow and it's been in front of them. It's been quite easy to defend against.
A minute to play then of added on time at the end of extra time. It's now or never for Celtic. But Kairat just thump it clear. It's Buyback putting it out of play on the halfway line. Have Celtic got time to muster just one more opportunity, one more £40 million moment. McGregor clips it forward. Ida stretchy, can't get on to it. Keeper lets it bounce behind. And surely now, that is that. Surely now we are heading to penalties to decide this crucial playoff tie. 210 plus minutes played over the two ties, and neither side able to find a goal between them. And that rather sums up what we have witnessed over the course of the two games. A dearth of quality, no doubt. It's all over in Almaty. And now it is the lottery, if you like, of penalty kicks. Neither Kairat Almaty nor Celtic able to find a goal over the course of the two legs. It finishes in Almaty, and over the two games, Kairat Almaty 0, Celtic 0.
Celtic in the UEFA Champions League playoff round.
Live on Sports Sound.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Stay tuned to Sports Sound Stay tuned to Sports Sound for the penalty shootout coming up here on BBC Radio Scotland. Really tense scenes out there in the heat in Kazakhstan. Tom English. We talked before, we've spoken for the last couple of weeks about how big a gamble Celtic Football Club are taking about not bringing new signings in, which were clearly needed, which the manager said were needed, which the fans have been calling for. If they don't get the job done here in the next 10 minutes or so, there will be some reaction.
Oh, it'll be vicious. It'll be vicious against the board. It'll be probably Brendan Rodgers from the fans. He will come under a lot of heat, but nowhere near as much heat as the board. Excuse me. So let's wait and see. But again, we've said it before, and every Celtic fan around the planet said it before. The first leg, Celtic, by their inactivity in the transfer market, have put this tie at risk. I think everybody said it thinking that Celtic would get through, they'd find a way. They haven't found a way as yet. They haven't scored a goal across two games plus extra time. It's been awful. It's been really, really awful stuff. And they're now penalty shootout. They lost their last penalty shootout, obviously, against Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Kairat Almaty have won their last penalty shootout against Slovan Bratislava, 4-3. So they will have more confidence in more recent good memories of a penalty shootout than Celtic. Does that mean anything? Who knows? But I don't know how Celtic have put themselves in this position. This is crazy.
Particularly the way they finished the extra time there, they were so on top, they just couldn't carve out a decent chance. John, you of course know all about taking high pressure penalties. What's key here? Do you have your mind made up before you step up which way you're going, what you're doing?
Well, there's different ways of taking penalties. There's players that just walk up and smash it. There's players that walk up and see if they can, the goalkeeper can move before he makes his decision. And then the way I took penalties was I'd pick my spot, so it didn't matter where the goalkeeper was standing. I picked it and just try and hit the target, clean strike.
Could you see against Brazil? Could you get, because we know it's different here, but there's a huge amount at stake here tonight. Could you get the sense of occasion out of your head? Can you blank that out?
You've got to just forget the surroundings. You've got to focus on the ball, focus on striking it, block it out, breathe, stay calm, don't rush it. It's all about composure. This is a high-stakes shootout. This is big pressure. 40 million shootout.
Would you rather Aidan be taking the penalties first? I would rather be going first. It's a hostile environment. I think you can hear from the crowd there. They're behind their team now. They've got this far in the tie without conceding a goal. Not scored a goal, not created a lot of chances, but they know that anything can happen in a penalty shootout. I would rather be going first than putting that first penalty away and putting the pressure on Kairat here.
I just wonder, John, if there's a slight advantage for Celtic in that, and we can see the two keepers there behind their captains, the referee giving them instructions in the halfway line, but you've got even just looking actually at the size of Schmeichel, but the experience of Schmeichel. We know it's quite an inexperienced goalkeeper in the Kairat Almaty side. I wonder if that makes any difference at all, that gives Celtic a slight edge.
Well, I hope it does. He's been a good signing. He's made a lot of good saves. This is massive if he can pull it off. He'll be the hero. But it's a lottery often. Penalty shootouts. Well, see who the brave players up who put their hands up, who wants to take it.
Yeah.
Always surprising when sometimes you see centre forwards that don't step forward and take the first penalty.
Happened in the cup final with Rangers, didn't it, as well? Dessers didn't take a penalty, did he?
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens, but
sometimes how you're feeling.
But again, sometimes I've played with defenders who have been unbelievable penalty takers.
Well, when the Scottish Cup final, Callum McGregor steps up to take Celtic's first penalty. You bet the house on him, and he misses. It's very hard to second.
If anyone was giving you the opportunity to score past a goalkeeper from 12 yards, you would take it every time, wouldn't you? You would lap it up, but there's no pressure on the goalkeepers here. The pressure's all on the taker.
Well, here we go. Over to you, Al.
Yeah, it's nerve jangling in the studio as much as it is in Almaty. The pressure is on, and Adam Ida is the man who is going to take this opening penalty kick for Celtic. Kasper Schmeichel and his opposite number, Temirlan Anarbekov, being spoken to by the referee, just outlining exactly what they are allowed and what they're not allowed to do during this shootout. As Kenny says, Anarbekov vastly less experienced than Kasper Schmeichel. Let's see who comes out on top. It's Adam Ida stepping up, much maligned striker, but he can do his bit for his team here as he steps up with the opening penalty of this Champions League playoff shootout. He starts, he just skips to his left. Up he comes, Ida saved! It's a poor penalty, almost straight at the goalkeeper, it seemed. Didn't have to dive too far to his right. And that is a horrendous start for Celtic.
Poor penalty from Ida. He's picked his spot, but I think when the goalkeeper guesses right, you've always got to aim for above halfway of the goal. I think you've got to aim for one of the top corners, because you run the risk of the goalie diving the right way and saving it. It wasn't right in the corner either.
Right-footed player going to the keeper's right is an easier angle for the goalkeeper to save it. Right-footed players going that way opens it up.
For me, I always used to go that way, but then I missed a couple, so I stopped doing it.
Valery Gromyko preparing to take Kairat Almaty's first penalty kick. Kasper Schmeichel, as he has been known to do, coming out and just taking issue with the placement of the ball. So Gromyko to give Kairat the edge here with the first penalty kick. Up he steps, left-footed. He dinks it off the crossbar.
Yes.
Oh, he tried the little Panenka there.
Oh, my goodness.
And he has come out red-faced. And it's all square at nothing each after a penalty apiece.
What layoff?
It's Northern Bratislava as well.
Good
First
knowledge,
penalty.
Tom. Well, he stepped up again to take that one, but his audacity has not come off there. And so now it is Luke McCowan with the chance to score the first penalty of the night. It's a big night to be trying a Panenka. Here's Luke McCowan, also left-footed. He's also missed it, saved by the goalkeeper again. A very similar penalty to that of Adam Ida, albeit left-footed, but a similar position for Aderbekov to make the save, and it's still goalless. Neither of these sides capable of scoring.
The keeper's read it. Not enough power on it.
2 out of 2 for the goalkeeper. I mean, we're questioning before the penalty shoot. Is that
He's shot on target anyway.
Yeah, true, but he's
That was your fault, Kenny.
Jinx. Listen, there's still a chance.
He's came up trump so far though. 2 out of 2 guessed the right way both
Yeah.
times. But both poor penalties. Like,
I love these mind games from Schmeichel.
Well, he's up against another experienced player here in Martinovic, Alexander Martinovic, the captain of Kairat. Can he, for the first time, beat the goalkeeper tonight? It's Martinovic who does score. There's the opening goal, the shootout. After 2 apiece, it's Kairat who have the 1-goal advantage. Schmeichel guessing wrong on that occasion. Penalty goes to his left, he dives right. And at last we have someone who has managed to put the ball between the sticks as up steps Arne Engels. And Celtic desperately need to get on the score sheet here. He cannot afford another miss, otherwise it's a long way back. Arne Engels, he scored plenty of penalties in his short Celtic career, scores that one, sends the keeper the wrong way, and it's 1-1.
An important one, that. Very important.
great penalty. Just a little stutter before the penalty spot, and just waited the goalkeeper going down in the left-hand corner. Much needed though, much needed.
Cool penalty, precision penalty from Arne Engels as Kasper Schmeichel indulges in a few more bits of gamesmanship, taking his time to get back in his line, looking to put Ofri Arad off as he steps up to try and put Kairat back in front in this shootout. It's 1-1. Arad steps up to take this latest penalty and scores. That's another cool penalty, you have to say, from the Israeli midfielder. Schmeichel tried to stay up as long as he could, eventually committed himself, and Arad sends him the wrong way. 2-1. Just down the middle, isn't it, almost? But Schmeichel had committed himself.
It's a great penalty, isn't it?
The amount of times that happens where you hit it straight down the middle.
Here's McGregor.
A shootout goalie always dives.
McGregor, you knew he would step up despite the disappointment from Hampden. But here he is. And he scores! Callum McGregor.
Excellent.
Mr. Reliable. And he makes it 2-2. Putting that disappointment from the cup final behind him.
Again, the keeper's read it. But too much power.
So he's hit it the right height as well.
Yeah.
The goalie goes the right way, but just above his arms.
Yeah.
The goalie goes the right way. You can't afford to be hitting it low unless it's right in the corner with power.
It's another centre-back is going to come up and take this one in the shape of Igor Sorokin. 2-2 it stands. Kairat taking a penalty fewer. Sorokin to put them back in front and edge them closer to the Champions League. Top corner, what a penalty that is from the Russian. My goodness, I thought just for an instant it might go too high, but he had the beating of Schmeichel, and it's 3-2 with just the final penalties to be taken. And if Celtic miss this one, Kairat are through.
What a penalty that was.
It's unstoppable.
Best penalty of the night.
Yeah.
It is Dyson Maida who has all the responsibility now on his shoulders. We've talked about him lacking confidence at the start of this season, even tonight. But But can he put that behind him and score here? It's Dyson Maida, saved, Celtic are out. Kairat Almaty emerged triumphant in the penalty shootout. Their goalkeeper is the hero. Young Tamirlan Anarbekov has saved 3 penalties from Aramida, Luke McCowan, and now Dyson Maida. And the Kazakhstan side, for the first time in their history, will play Champions League football, and Celtic tumble into the Europa League. It's too much for some of the Kairat players, collapsing on the turf in tears, the emotion of it all. For Celtic, it'll be tears of a very different kind as Dyson Maida hits it straight down the middle. Another comfortable stop for a keeper, another poor penalty, and Celtic reap what they have sown, or rather what they have not sown in the transfer market. It finishes in Almaty, goalless on the night, but Kairat Almaty win on penalties, and Celtic are out of the Champions League.
Incredible.